What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MIRE High School football on a Friday night in Skillman, New Jersey. And tonight, the Montgomery Cougars host the Hornets of Hamilton West. Montgomery looking to improve to 5-0 on the season. And we had a star-studded pregame show for you. I feel like we're making this a little bit of a habit, and I love it, and I think I want it to continue. So,
love it.
Joining us tonight, in addition to my compadre, the new Papa down here, who you can't see, hiding behind our class president, who I'll introduce to you in a second, Tim Bartholomew. Coach, welcome.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Fantastic. Always good to see you. Just like you, I just threw the razor in the garbage today.
Yeah.
Said, you know what? I'm not doing that today.
Shave once a week, and it's not that day.
I hate it, though. I got a stupid cold sore on my face, so I can't shave. The man of the hour joining us for the pregame show, the captain of the cross-country team, hopefully the captain of the track team, and the senior class president, Aryan Gurusamy. Aryan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for doing this with us.
Oh, no problem.
So let's get the athletics portion of this out the way first. Talk about cross-country a little bit. How's things going?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got Coach B.
Yeah, that's me.
He doesn't run, though. We don't care about him.
I wouldn't say I don't run.
It went from, 9 to
Yeah.
7
Yeah.
this week.
Listening to my
What else?
pregame.
We got a big meet tomorrow, Thompson Park at Monroe. That's going to be fun. Yeah, season's going well. I feel like the entire Montgomery has, every athletic program is doing pretty well today, or this year. Maybe with the exception of field hockey, but everything else is really strong.
Yeah. We could have just not said that. You could have just left that one out.
No,
You're getting the hang of this.
Yeah.
You're getting the hang of it.
This is what we do here at the Mire. I think I agree with you. This is kind of a, I don't want to say unprecedented year. It just feels like everything's kind of firing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can kind of sense it in school, too. Like, the vibe feels very positive.
Yeah. The school spirit is just so not over the top, but it's better than previous years. We have senior sunrise this morning was a big success. I just really love the school spirit, especially this year. It feels like my freshman year almost. Again, that was a great year.
So fill me in, the non-high school member. What's senior sunrise?
Go ahead, Aryan.
All right, so it's basically like this event we do as seniors. We watch the sunrise, and everyone comes in at 6:30, and so we had a long morning this morning.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just there for an hour talking. We sold bagels, cream
Cool.
cheese. It was fun.
Good sunrise?
Quick sunrise.
Quick sunrise?
Yeah.
Most people probably slept through it.
So they're half asleep. This is kind of the beginning of all the senior class events that you guys have going on, and I know that for so many of our students, just with the way the student population goes, the first month and a half or 2 months or so of school for the seniors, you guys are pretty focused on college applications and stuff like that. And then once we get past that, that seems to be kind of when you all kick it into gear, so to speak, in terms of the fun. What stuff you guys have coming down the pike that you're pumped about once we get through this college app season?
Yeah, I can't wait for this college app season. And after
It hardly even started, dude.
I gotta finish that Common App stuff. But second, January 1st is over. We got Disney coming up, prom, senior bonfire, senior sunrise, and generally just I feel like school is just gonna be a lot more fun in general. Graduation, I think everything's gonna be just
A little
gonna
less
be a lot more fun.
pressure when the pressure's gone.
We're already thinking about graduation in the middle of September. I love it. That's
Well,
the
we're
kind
looking
of
at the
focus I
graduation
like.
Field, so
That is a good point. You kind of touched on it a little bit in terms of wow, this kind of feels like my freshman year. Obviously, this is really the first quote-unquote normal year we've had. So when you think back to that time, as a freshman, we were making fun of it at the time. Mrs. Green, who is no longer here, came over the PA and said, and there was something wrong with the PA system that day. It was kind of broken, I remember. And so there was this weird echo behind her, and it was take your instruments home, do the, it was the warning that hey, we may not be coming back to school. So of course I, being the idiot that I am, I'm messing with her, and I'm take the trombones home, all the trombones must go, and then it was, we're out 2 weeks, but as a ninth grader, you guys were kind of just along for the ride. What do you remember back to that?
Oh no, thinking about that last day we had in school, Coach Cardi, the head track coach, he's on the field right now too. He told the entire track team to take your spikes home, clear your lockers. Me being a freshman, I did not do that. I lost my spikes. I lost my uniform that day, and
You're the reason why we're one short.
That's it.
But yeah, no. Before that, I was in the marching band as a freshman, And I went to every single football game, and it was just, the vibe was just there. Like the events are still the same, but it's just that, you can't touch it. It's just that school spirit that's just always, leaning over your head, and I can't really put it into words. This freshman year was just different.
It helps as a senior when the team's good too, though. That's
Oh yeah. It was like we in marching band especially. They would do this. They'd play one song if we won and another song if we lost. And it kind of got boring that we kept playing that song. We would like,
Yeah.
This year I think it's different. Hopefully 5-0 tonight, and yeah.
The last game here, obviously the home opener. There's some juice associated with that. The fact that it was against a good team like Somerville, the way that you and all the rest of the senior class kind of organized everything in the fan section. We were talking, Coach Milich and I, over the last weekend, that we really couldn't remember an atmosphere that was as electric as it was, and the weather was great. Everything kind of turned out the way you wanted.
Perfect, but perfect.
Yeah, I have to imagine for you that's going to be something that you, number one, are proud of at this point, being kind of in charge of everybody, and number two, that is going to kind of stick with you too as the years go.
Yeah, I think this energy that's here is just like that's something I can't forget. We had. I just remember we were selling stuff for the class. Like we were selling sunglasses for the first half, so I was in the student section. But the second half was just electric. I mean, the temperature is just like different in there, like literally, and everyone's just cheering, even for the littlest thing. And I think, I can't relate to that as being like a cross country runner, but I can only imagine what it's like for the team to have that emotional support and just mental support with their entire like school looking at them.
I'll tell you what. I'll interject here.
Please.
My twin 8-year-olds were in the crowd, and they were in awe of the student section. They were like, they loved the chants. They were like, look, as soon as they started chanting, they looked at Heather, my wife, and were like, can we do that? Yeah. So they started chanting. And then some of the chants they couldn't do, you know.
Of course.
But
that's because you parent the children well.
Yeah. You can't do that. They love that chant. You can't do that. And then apparently, and we didn't see it, there was a body surfer or a crowd surfer in the midst, which I imagine that you got a talking to about maybe. But my kids they were like, I want to be in high school right now. I want this is for me. So they can feel that energy. So if they can feel that energy, I'm sure it's trickling through the fans and into the game.
Yeah, sure.
How, and maybe this is a trick question, and the answer may be that you don't have to do this at all or work very hard. Has it been hard work kind of leading this whole thing and getting everybody rallied together to be this excited about everything?
No, I think it's just, the senior, what's that called? Senioritis. Like, I'm not really in charge of anyone. Like, it's kind of just, it goes on as it is, like, to be honest. I mean,
this guy's a modest guy.
The events I organize, I'll take, me and the class officers, I'll take responsibility for that. But the energy that they bring is just different. Like, they're here before me. Senior sunrise, like, I told everyone to come at 6:30, for example. People were there 6:05, 6:10. Like, that energy,
wow.
You just can't, you can't direct someone to do that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
As you guys kind of now have, you be turned into this leadership position, and it happens, every year to a class by default, because you now there's nobody above you, right? So heavy lies the crown, so to speak. How has that been for you guys and your class officers? Do you think that transition now to being the top dogs and being the the kind of the culture setters and the tone setters in the first year back, what's that been like?
Yeah, I think that also has to come back to, like, the 2 years, 1.5 years we lost to COVID. Like, especially, I've seen this on the team, especially, that the classes just kind of start to blend together. Like, there's really no hierarchy between class officers and normal kids, or, like, seniors and juniors. Especially with, like, the cross-country team or even the football team. We have, Michael, we have, star juniors. And that kind of just breaks down, like, that, the hierarchy between, ages and positions.
If you watch the MIRE, even remotely consistently, I feel like I ask these kinds of questions every week because I'm just so interested in the process of, and maybe it's the function that I play in my job too as a counselor. I'm like so interested in figuring out how you guys approach leadership and, what works and what doesn't. And maybe the other part of me is that I want you all to be keenly aware of how much power you have over the underclassmen and, that they are looking up to you too. Because, for you, everything I know about you, and we're kind of just getting to know each other as you know,
yeah.
well, and hopefully we'll be
Yeah,
more
hopefully.
well acquainted by the end of the year, by the time we get down to Disney. And everything that I know about you and people have told me about you is that, like, you may not even know that you're doing all the things the right way because it's just the kind of kid that you are. But
Is that true, Coach?
That's 100%. That's how I would say it. You know, he's a captain on the team for a reason, and I'm not gonna say that he's the most vocal captain I've ever had, but he's one of those people that lead by example, and that's honestly more valuable to me. Like kids hearing you say it's one thing, but seeing it being done is another.
Thanks,
And
Coach.
so, yeah, no worries, man. Well, that's like I said, you guys are captains for a reason, and everyone has their role or their niche, and you definitely are one of those kids that just kind of do the right thing, and you're vocal when you need to be, and the kids see that, and or other athletes see that, and they try to emulate it because they want to have the success that you're having.
That means a lot, Coach.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
and you know, and I think that too, just from an approach standpoint, right? Like the barkers, the leaders who are you know, chirpy a lot
Yeah.
at times. Not, you know, and if you're the best kid on the team, you can chirp all you want, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you're always winning, keep talking, right? But you know, like anything, there's only one, like, or a very small set of people that win all the time, you know? So if you're not that guy or girl, and you take the approach of, like, I am going to lead by example because people are going to watch how I do what I do, and then every once in a while, when you let something fly verbally, people are like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know, like, it's time for me to listen, as opposed to maybe there's an important message that needs to be delivered by a captain that just blends into all the rest of the noise, you know, that's typically coming from them. So I think maybe you have an advantage there that you don't even realize too. So the next time you really let fly on somebody because they're not living up to the expectations that you want, I suspect that they may raise an eyebrow and go, oh, everybody shut up. It's time to listen.
You know, I really don't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
now that you say it, I've kind of becoming consciously aware of it, but I don't really know that
Yeah.
I'm doing all the
Dude,
right
leadership,
things, so to
man, it's a
speak.
thing. It's a thing.
I don't think the Arian's ever the person that's gonna lash into somebody, but like the quiet quiet talking to, or like the reason, like when he approaches you with reasonableness, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, that makes sense, as opposed to, you know, a coach. I say things that goes in one ear out the other for 90% of the athletes. You know, the other 10% internalize it, and you know.
Well, it's kind of like when we always say it when parents talk, right? That, you know, I get a phone call from a parent. They're like, "Look, I know that this is the thing, and it probably makes sense. Can you, like, call my son down and tell him that, because he doesn't listen to me. And if he hears it from you, he'll probably listen."
Oh yeah, it's the same thing if you try to coach your kid. I try to teach my kid to
Ugh.
swing a bat. He won't do it. Go to some guy he's never met before, and he'll do exactly what he says.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's okay. You know.
Well, I mean, I gotta imagine too that, like, when you were an underclassman, the peer-to-peer leadership part, like, you know, felt powerful. Like,
That was strong. That was strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're the guy.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like that. I feel like I remember when I was a freshman, I really looked up to the juniors, seniors. My cousin was my own cousin was a senior at the time, and I just, you know, I looked at them, but I feel like I didn't vocalize it. So I feel like now that you've said it, maybe some freshmen or sophomores looking at them, hopefully, like, that would be amazing.
They
Maybe
they
one
are.
or two
They
of them
are.
I'm here to
looking
tell
at
you they are. Okay.
But, you know, I feel like they're also not vocalizing it. And I feel like that's just, like, you know, a common thing.
Well, what are they gonna do? They're gonna walk up to you and be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Hey, you're awesome. I like no
Yeah,
freshman's doing that."
Yeah.
You hear about that, exactly.
You know?
I feel like it's hard to be aware of it, but I know you can look at other people and see, like, oh, like, that guy's, you know, like Mike, for example. I have a story about him. Today morning, actually, we were in AP Econ, and he taught us a lesson that I didn't understand. So you really, like,
Schmelzer, is that what we're talking about?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We what was it? It was like comparative advantage with Coach Griff,
Okay.
and he taught us how to calculate the opportunity cost of something, and you know, it's just like I'm going on a tangent, but I just want to
No. We do, listen, all we do on the MIRE is tangents. That's
Yeah.
it. It's like 10% the actual event.
Yeah.
Fire away. Keep going.
And you know, I'm just saying,
True.
like, there's some all-around guys, and you know, those people, like, what can you do other than look up to him? You know?
He's been a kid, and we talked about it last week with Brady Post too, that, like, we've been kind of extra impressed with because of the leadership role that he was forced to take on as a sophomore, and he managed to do it and win the respect of people without being a jerk and alienating anybody somehow. and that's like not easy.
That's hard. That's
Yeah,
hard.
you know, so like personality. I guess I fight this fight a lot as a counselor too, especially in our community, because both from the educator side and like the parent-student side, it's like, well, how do we measure that? What's the data on like? Did the lesson that you taught, like, was that good? Well, how do you know? Did you give an assessment? Do you have a survey? Do you like, I don't know. I was in the room. Like, the kids responded. We had a great conversation.
I got a good vibe.
Yeah, like, you know, like there's value in that. And then from the parent-student side, it's always like, well, like, I can't quantify that my kid is, like, not a jerk or, like, has a good personality or works well with others. Like, that's not a thing. Well, that's not going to get him into college. Well, like, I'm sorry, but when you get there, like, people either want to be around you or you're not going to have any friends. Like, I'm sorry.
But it does get you into college though, because if you're that type of person, you're also doing the things that are going to get you there. You know what I mean? And you're going to have the support from the people around you that are going to help you get into there. So it does have that effect on the individual.
See, I'd like to think so, but it's just an uphill battle to explain that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys feel how do you feel about that when I say that kind of stuff? And I'm not looking for, like, total agreement on this. Like, but, you know, I'm interested to know, like, from a student and parent perspective, for you, is it, like, mostly still always focused on, like, what the end grade is and all that stuff? Like, you know, I don't know how that lands.
Well, for me specifically, I think I can relate to sports specifically.
Sure.
That, you know, Coach B always says, or at least, like, hints towards that, you know, for me, cross-country is a preseason for winter. Winter's a preseason for spring. The entire spring season's a preseason for sectionals, that one meet, that one day. And if you're always focused on the end result, like what? Am I supposed to be like stressed for the entire like 10-month period before that one meet? So it's like, you know, it's really like trust the journey and then the end results will come. So I feel like it's something that, well, students and me in general, like just don't appreciate or like focus on specifically, but it's there. It's always there.
Trust the process, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. You're speaking my language. I'm a
Yeah.
process guy. I'm not a results guy. Although I like the results too. Don't get me wrong. I like when the process pans out.
Oh, yeah, when you're driving a Mercedes, you know the results are there.
Yeah.
One day I'll get to where Pogue is. You know, that's it.
Oh man.
So this game specifically, boys, Montgomery off to this 4-0 start. I don't know that you could really start any more impressively than they have. The teams they were supposed to beat, they beat pretty soundly and didn't do more than they needed to, which, you know, some people may look at numbers and scores and say, well, like, if you were really a juggernaut, you would have won 56-0. To that, I say, you know, but then you put a lot of stuff on tape that maybe you didn't need to show teams for the end of the year. I think Montgomery kind of kept things pretty vanilla in the first 3 games. Last week, obviously, we talked about the electric atmosphere here, but it was against a remarkably quality opponent in Somerville and really kind of took it to the Pios, I felt. And tonight now, home again, second of 4 in a row at home against Hamilton, looking to improve to 5-0. And how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's actually this season's so funny because I feel like it's the complete opposite of last year. Obviously, record-wise.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But also, if you look at like PowerPoints and things like that, we're still at the bottom of the pile because all the teams that we beat don't have wins. Whereas last year, all the teams that beat us had wins. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting spot to be in at this point. But I feel like Hamilton is a team that we should be able to beat. Hopefully, you know, you're not looking forward till next week to Wak Chung, and you take the task at hand. But I feel like they've got a good opportunity today.
What's the vibe been like from the students in school about this game?
Oh, this game is, you know, vibe would definitely be higher if it wasn't cold. But
Sure.
it's there. It's there. No, it's there. People, especially after last week, I think a lot of people are gonna show out today. I feel like the away crowd is a little weaker this time, but you know, the atmosphere is still there. Our athletes are gonna look to their left and look at us. So I think it's still there. It's still strong. And I feel like now, especially if we clinch out a 5-0, we're definitely that team that's, you know, going to be starting to be chased.
Yeah.
And we're not the ones, you know, trying to, how do I say this, like, opt for a win, but we're the ones that they're, like, the opponent's trying to beat us.
Sure. Target's on
Tomorrow.
our back as opposed to us going after somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
You all right, so now that there's a great track analogy question here for you before we go to commercial. Do you like running out front or you like chasing somebody down?
Oh, chasing someone down, easily.
Really?
Because well, for one, they're breaking the wind, and second, you don't have to do the pacing, so you're just following them.
Following right in the farts.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's like cheating.
Oh, jeez.
Listen, if you put low-hanging fruit out there,
As soon as he said
I'm gonna
that,
grab it. I'm sorry.
no, that's definitely Aryan's type of race, man. He lets you think you've got it until you don't. And you know what I mean? And he comes up and snags you,
And they think
especially in
it
that
does,
800.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That was always. There was always something about that, like at the near the end of a race. Anytime that I had, been around races and just hearing somebody yell, "Track him down!" Like
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, like you get a little chill thinking about that. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Simmy. I'm sorry.
You always get mad when you, because I was always the type of guy that I would take the race out and I'd lead it for as long as I could lead it, and then I'd always get so mad about the kid who sat on my shoulder the whole race, and then 100 meters to go just gets in front of me. I'm like, you son of a gun, But that's how I ran my races. You know what I mean? I needed to be the guy in front. I always had to be a half step ahead of everybody, until I couldn't be.
Did you hear that, Poke? Timmy had a real opportunity to curse there. Didn't do it because he's a good father.
Yeah.
Good father.
My
Okay?
kids actually listen to this, so
That's it.
I told my wife to text me when they turned it on so I could give them a shout out.
Oh, here comes Figs. Figs was actually telling me yesterday that Hamilton West is his like home crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hometown.
It's
And now
it's
he's-
where he went.
Yeah,
So
they haven't
Figs-
had a linebacker that good since Vinny Figueroa played there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Neither has Rowan. Neither has
Yeah,
Rowan.
neither has Rowan.
Boo, Rowan. Always got to take shots as a TCNJ alum. Aryan,
So,
man.
so needless to say, they haven't been good at linebacker ever.
That's right. That's it. All right, thanks, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Coach.
Wish you the best of luck in the rest of the cross-country season, and obviously keep doing what you're doing from a leadership perspective and with the senior class.
All right.
Before
Thank
you know it, it's going to be March and it's going to be warm again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Stay warm tonight. Rest of the MIRE pregame show and kickoff against Hamilton West. Montgomery in search of 5-0 in high school football on a Friday in Skillman. We'll be right back. You're caught in the MIRE. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Skillman. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, and Nicole DeMace live from Cougar Stadium. Montgomery looking to improve to 5-0 on a Friday evening. You see the captains walking out for the coin toss. Let's tell you a little bit about Hamilton. They come into the game 1 and 2. A pair of losses with a little bit of a, call it a loss sandwich, if you will. Opened the season with a loss to West Windsor, and then last week a little bit of a lopsided one against Hopewell Valley. And between that, a victory against Trenton. So, Timmy, it's interesting looking at their statistics. Their quarterback, Rob Chatham, first game not so great. Stat line was not so hot. And then you looked even last week against Hopewell. I was like, oh, wow, all right, 11 of 15, 180-something yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. First game they threw a couple of picks. It was like 3 for something. It was not fantastic. So, I'm interested to see, like there, because certainly, as you can imagine, there might be some drastic improvement, even from game 1 to game 3, because God forbid they're high school kids and they should figure anything out, right?
I mean, the Carson Wentz of high school football. I don't know.
Listen, just throwing Commanders references in already.
Yeah.
I guess if I could throw Falcons references in, you could throw Commanders references in. They've won a game.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the last team in the power rankings, so.
That is true. Although neither is Atlanta anymore, thank
What?
God. Yeah, no, it's. I think the Texans were last.
Oh, really?
It was or either that or Texans were 31st. I forget it was 32nd.
Don't worry, man. Give it a week.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry, they'll be back. Montgomery's won the toss. They're going to receive, and no better time maybe than that to talk about the guy that Montgomery would like to have return the kick, and that is big number 11, Matt Davino. We've been talking about him quite a bit this season, and he has really lived up to every bit of the hype.
Oh, he's been so dangerous back there. He's been dangerous as a wide receiver. I mean, he's one of those guys, you get the ball, and then when he has it, you never know what's going to happen.
He has been certainly the favorite target of Mike Schmelzer to date, and, with good reason, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, you get it to your guys that make plays. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a squib kick here, or they kick it away from Davino just because he has been so dangerous in the kick return game. He usually gets a really good return.
We are underway, and it will be taken back at the 10-yard line. They go away from Davino to Eubanks, and he's returning it out past the 25.
And he can be dangerous too. So I had a nice little cut right there, and was able to get an extra 2 or 3 yards, put us in decent field position to start the first half.
Well, you see what Zoran Milic, really thinks about his team because, typically you win the coin toss and you're deferring because you want that, the potential boomerang situation of score at the end of the half and come back and score again. And Zora said, you know what, I don't really care. Let's just go out and score. I love my offense. Let's make it happen.
Let's just go punch it in.
Schmelzer with Eubanks.
Oh.
Bad snap on first down, so Michael was going to look to keep it, and he is wrapped up in the backfield. So not the way that the Cougs would like to have gotten things going, and a great play from Dante Bryant.
Yeah, just didn't handle the snap quite right. Didn't look like it was a bad snap, but one of those things where maybe he tried to run before he secured the ball.
It looked similar to the play last week that we talked about when, snap was a little bit off to his left, and he ended up keeping it and for a big gainer. But
yeah, he did that several times last week.
He'll throw it on second down, and he is wrapped up and sacked again. This time by Ade McCullum. So not the start offensively for Montgomery in terms of the protection.
Yeah, I mean, not how you want to start a game for sure. And now you're in a position where it's, third in an eternity. You're probably going to see some kind of draw or quick hit rush just to get some room so that they can punt it. I don't imagine they're going to be throwing it deep here, but stranger things have happened.
Third down and 25 for Schmelzer, and he's going to roll to his right and look to throw. He's being chased, gets away for the moment, heaves it down the sideline, and it is just a bit too tall, intended for Davino.
Yep. A lot of pressure, man. The Hamilton defensive line is doing an excellent, has done an excellent job for those first 3 plays just to put pressure on the ball.
3 and out for the Cougs. Certainly not the way that Zoran Milic had envisioned things going when he chose to receive the opening kickoff.
You know, and that's a lot of times that's how games happen. You know, the opposing team has a defensive strategy that you're not necessarily ready for, but I trust the Montgomery coaches are pretty good at thinking on the fly, and they'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly.
False start coming here on Montgomery. So they'll back it up. Wrong direction for the Cougs.
Yeah.
So far as we're doing this.
It's yeah, like we said,
not so hot.
Not the start you wanted.
That will back McManus up against his own end line, and that's a little scary given the way that the line is protected on the first 3 offensive plays. And there it is. It's a high snap through the end zone. It's going to be a safety. Man, I don't think if you could script a worse way to start for Montgomery that you would have come up with what has just happened on the first 5 plays.
I mean, that's amazing. It's completely not what anyone expected to happen.
A 2-run homer for Hamilton, and they lead it.
Yeah, bottom of the first inning.
In a night where home runs are certainly the topic of conversation around the country, if not maybe more so locally. Aaron Judge in search of tying Roger Maris. He's currently seated next to the Babe at 60 home runs, and Albert Pujols is in search of home run number 700. Gotta wonder what those Apple TV Plus numbers look like. Like, how many people will subscribe to Apple TV Plus tonight just to watch this Yankee game to see if you could see history?
Yeah. I mean, that would be interesting to see.
Amazon made a really big deal about Thursday Night Football that during the broadcast of Week 1, Chiefs Chargers, it was by far the most enrollments in any calendar day that they've ever had. So for them, at least in Week 1, that was purchasing the NFL and paying them $1 billion was worth it.
How many people canceled their subscription, though, after?
0 people. At the 36 for Hamilton, and a short return. Good job by Montgomery. And good field position, though, for the Hornets, as you would imagine there would be.
My watching Thursday Night Football is atrocious on Amazon for me. And I know other people have had the same problem where it's just like buffers or it or it freeze frames. It's been terrible. And like, it's not my internet. You know, I had the hotspot on my phone that I was using just because I thought that was it, and it wasn't.
Oh.
It's Amazon.
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
I know.
Got to get you a hard wire.
The good news is I wasn't really into last night's game, so I was okay leaving it.
There you go. First down and 10 for the Hornets, and they'll start out on the ground. Toss sweep out to the right, and a good job by Montgomery to track things down. Gavin Guidetti in the backfield.
And now we got a Cougar down.
An injury already.
And this is not the ones that, you kind of hope you always hope it's a cramp, but
first play of the game, you don't really think so. It's Joe Rossman.
Weather's conducive to not having them.
Yeah, you'd have to think. It was Dylan Esom on the carry for Hamilton. We'll probably see a healthy dose of him. The 2 names that you're going to hear often tonight are Rob Chatham, the quarterback, and Dylan Esom, and that should be it. As Montgomery attempts to
only 2 people.
Well, listen, I'm just going by the volume of what we have. So as Montgomery tends to Rossman, we will step away. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to the MIRE. You don't want to see this for anybody. Trainer and Dr. Gatt out to see Joe Rossman, and Joe has not put any weight on that left leg, and we couldn't tell what exactly it was. Looked like maybe it was a knee, but you see the face of Rossman coming off the field there, and just he is in a great deal of pain, and that's just
it's probably one of the worst parts of coaching is when you see an athlete go through something like that.
Yeah.
Especially ones like Rossman, who've worked really hard to get to the point where he's at, and then just a freak little injury takes him out of the game.
Chatham under center, and the give again is to the running back, Isam, and he is stopped after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, so it looks like the defense is going to have to really pick it up.
3rd down and 8 for the Cougs.
Get this turnover.
Defensively, they have been quite stout. And, whether you think that that's a function of that the D-line has been very strong or that the corners have covered well, either way, I feel like it's been a marriage of both. It has not really been one outweighing the other. Chatham will go to the shotgun on 3rd down. He'll look and throw it out to the right, and that is just a little bit too tall out there, as he was intending that one for Zaire Evans. So Hamilton will have to punt it after a 3 and out.
Yep, nice defensive stand by the Cougars. Now kind of reset on offense and say, okay, let's put that last drive behind us and pretend it never happened.
Davino will stand back at his own 25-yard line. Cougs trail at 2-0 after a first series, 5 plays, 4 actual plays and a penalty. And that precipitated a snap through the end zone over the head of punter Ethan McManus, and that's where we sit where we do. Offside, we just had the ball spotted in the wrong spot, it looks like.
Looks like they spotted at the original line of scrimmage. And then,
yeah. Thomas Clugston is the punter for Hamilton. And it's a good snap, and he gets it away, and this is a great kick.
Yeah, what a good
Davino circles under it at the 22. Davino's got room off the right side. Stiff arm past the 45, and he is hammered out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. So a great return from the junior.
Yeah, I love a good stiff arm, man.
The old Josh Allen stiff arm.
Yeah.
It seemed. There have been some pretty good stiff arms first couple weeks of the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
I would not want to be like any kind of defensive back having to tackle guys like Najee Harris and Derrick Henry. Like, there's a 265-pound animal running at you faster than you've ever run. You weigh 165 pounds. Go tackle him.
Get low.
Yeah. Just go stand in front of him. It's a great idea. 1st and 10 for Montgomery. And it's Schmelzer. He'll go quick game out to McManus in the left. And he makes 2 guys miss, and he's got a gain of about 11 on 1st down. So that's one way to combat a quick pass rush.
Yeah, there you go. Quick hitters.
Get the ball out of your hands as fast as possible. Officials timeout.
I'll tell you what, I was watching, or not watching, I was reading on Facebook. I read a little article about this one high school team has a girl, a female kicker.
Okay.
And, she made this big hit on a kick return to save a touchdown.
Love it.
And they interviewed her. It was a great interview. But you always get the trolls and the thing saying like, it's like it looked like she got in the way and just got ran over. I was like, that's what you do. That's 90% of tackling.
Yeah.
It's just get in the way.
Now I watched enough of the Saints, and McManus is the injured Cougar, by the way. Enough Saints games in the first 2 weeks of the season to save my life. A guy who is fantastic, a fantastic player, Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh yeah.
The number of times Tyrann Mathieu got absolutely run over at safety in the first 2 weeks, like 6 times, where like he got annihilated. But you know what he did? Tackled the guy.
Yeah.
Like in a situation where he's it. It's either get in the way of a guy running full speed at you while you're standing still, who's probably bigger than you, or the guy scores.
Yeah. No, I mean, a tackle's a tackle, man. If they fall down because of you, you made the tackle.
Hell yeah.
My favorite is watching the videos of, like, the kickers that just deliver the big hit.
Oh, yeah.
McAfee was a big one.
Schmelzer looking up the left sideline, and good coverage out there on Davino. That's one of the few times that you have seen Schmelzer underthrow Davino.
Yeah, it just didn't look like it sat in his hand right when he went to make the throw.
Jaquay Kelly out there, the 5'8" senior. Good coverage on Mr. Davino. So it'll bring up. And I thought that they had given him the first down. That was a bad spot. I'm sorry. So it's third down and less than a yard.
Yeah, this is 2-down territory. And
they're calling a timeout because things were not set up the way that they wanted. So, an inauspicious beginning, easy for me to say, for Montgomery, 8:44 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Nicole DeMays. Live from Cougar Stadium and a 3rd and 1. And Guidetti picks his way back to the left side and has a first down, a gain of about 5. That was pretty patient running there from Guidetti because that play was not designed to go to the left. And he just said, whoop, let me cut this thing back off the backside.
Yeah, the offensive line doing a much better job than that first series. Maybe they picked a few things up and made some adjustments just to be able to accommodate what was going on.
Well, clearly. I mean, you couldn't. It was a jailbreak on the first 3 plays.
Yeah.
So whatever Hamilton was doing, Montgomery, at least for the moment, has figured it out. McManus is back in the game, and he's in the slot on the right side. Davino lined up all the way out wide. It is Eubanks. And Chris is tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, as I say, they figured it out.
Well, that looked like, for reasons unknown, that's one of the first times that we've seen Schmelzer be maybe a little indecisive on that RPO, where that play needed to get to Eubanks faster than that.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to tuck and run to the right of the field, but.
So it's 2nd down and a very long 10. McManus will run that little banana screen. Schmelzer's going to set up a screen out here to Eubanks. Chris has it. Oh, he needed to make one guy miss, and there was just enough contact out there to knock him down at about the 31.
I'm over here watching the far side. Davino giving it to one of the other players. Backside blocking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Winning that battle?
Yeah, he's definitely winning the battle. It's just funny. I'm sorry. You know who it was? It was Ethan McManus. I thought it was Davino for a second, but yeah, backside blocking. Guy was complaining to the official.
3rd down and 6 for Schmelzer in the shotgun.
Let's see
as he's got Eubanks with him. He'll look to throw. Zings it out to the right, and that is complete for a first down. And still on his feet is Elijah Diarra. Then he loses the football, and it looks like Hamilton's got it.
Oh, just go down.
So certainly not what Montgomery wanted in the first 2 possessions.
I think they got to, like, recompose themselves right now because it's, like, one of those, like, shock factor. It's not going the way you thought. Maybe a little guilty, a little bit of looking past this game, but now it's going to sink in. I think they can. I think it's not too far gone here.
Gotta wonder. It's kind of like the first round of an MMA fight. They call it the adrenaline dump, where everybody's so fired up, and then you come out in the first 30, 45, 60 seconds, and you waste all the energy. And then what happens after that? So what's Hamilton got in the tank? It's going to be a quarterback keeper on first down. And
Oh, boy.
a big gainer up the left side. One man to beat, and a great tackle by Holloway inside the 20-yard line. But give great credit to Rob Chatham, a fantastic read. Keeping that ball off the left side. Lucas Clark went for the running back, and Chatham just pulled it right back out of his belly. Big old gain.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be pretty happy if you're Hamilton right now. You know, everything's going your way, and your players are making big plays.
Well, we talked about, you know, early in the season at Franklin, that tackle that Schick made up the sideline. You know, I mean, that was all Keith Holloway right there. I mean, it was him or a touchdown, you know, like we just talked about.
Definitely saved a touchdown.
Give us to the up back. This time Lucas Clark has him wrapped up, and big Nasir Rowell, 6 foot, 246-pound fullback.
Yeah, it's just like they got that momentum going now. They're rolling, you know. It's like a ball down the hill.
2nd down and 8 coming for Hamilton. Montgomery defense really needs to tighten things up here.
You know, overall they've been doing, I mean, obviously that one big play is really the only huge damage that they've done.
A lot of time in the huddle for Hamilton here. They might have to hurry up.
Let them take their time.
Shotgun, 2 running backs. Chatham. Give is off the right side to Dylan Esom, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Montgomery defensive line.
Yeah, it looked like Hamilton was trying to do a little bit of, you know, trickery.
Didn't really fool anybody. So
big 3rd down.
You got to think that this is, although maybe not judging by the punt, because the punt was pretty fantastic. So you don't. This might be field goal territory. I'm not sure.
I mean, you get away with it if they kick a field goal, man. Even if they do, you're still down by less than a 1 score.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Hamilton, you gotta get a touchdown.
It's 2-down territory for sure.
Chatham rolls out to his right. He's chased. He throws at the goal line, and it is almost intercepted.
Oh, in and out.
Oh no, they are going to give it to him. I thought he juggled it and didn't hold on until he was out of bounds, but instead, the late signal, they're going to give Schick the ball.
So another touchdown-saving tackle comes up huge because it leads to a turnover.
How about that?
Gotta love
I
it.
take it all back. Listen, maybe if we just like talk about Zach Schick, he'll make a play. Because that's what happened right there.
Yeah.
And just like that, man, your fortunes can change in a matter of a moment.
So
Montgomery's backed all the way up, though. You hope you don't have PTSD from the last time you were down here.
I just say get the ball moving, man. Just get some easy runs up the middle.
Guidetti on first down. He does have some room. Gavin busting through. He's out past the 20. Plenty of breathing room. 22-yard gain for Gavin on first down, and Montgomery maybe now starting to snap out of this first quarter funk.
I think so. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more of just what we saw there. Some off tackles and inside runs.
They'll stay under center here, and again, it'll be Guidetti. Gavin picking his way forward for a gain of about 3.
And that's all right. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, we got the 3.
Yeah.
Let's get the cloud of dust on the next one, huh?
Yeah. I guess you can't really use that saying anymore, right? There's no dust on a turf field.
No, there's not. Just turf tires that'll probably kill you because they're poisonous.
Yeah. 3 yards and some black pebbles.
There were years when we first had we had turf for a long time. Obviously, this is new turf. We've replaced the old one. I'll get to the rest of that story in a second. Schmelzer on second down is in the shotgun. He's going to look to throw. Zings it out to the right, and that's intercepted. So dueling turnovers here as that was off the fingertips of Eddie Kahn and picked off by John Chatham, the brother of quarterback Rob Chatham. And Hamilton says, we'll have that right back.
Yeah. I mean, at least it moved him back farther.
So when we had the old turf here, you know, to replace the turf is not cheap. You know, it's like in the 7 figures. You know, and instead of do that, it was like no, you just have to. You got to comb the field and you got to rake the field up and rake all the tire turf that is been matted down and bring it all back up to the top. And there's like a machine that'll do that for you. To be continued after first down, and this is Dylan Esom. He's off the right side, and he is tackled in the backfield. Great job by Montgomery. Host of Cougs there. It was Lucas Zapansky, and it looked like Landon Dicker was there as well.
So did this machine look like anything like the one in Spaceballs when they were combing the desert?
Something like that, like a huge, huge comb. And so, okay, we bring in this company. They essentially comb up all of this stuff. Now, what you don't realize is over like 8-10 years, there's a lot of stuff inside there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Band-Aids. And
how about bugs?
Oh.
It was an infestation of grossness.
That's
it was bad.
That's pretty gross.
It was.
I don't want to think about it. I spent a lot of time on that turf.
Well, obviously we took care of the problem. Timeout for Hamilton there as Rob Chatham.
If you say so.
It's new turf now, but you know, trust me, we weren't doing too much in the days after the combing.
Yeah.
So, Pogue, do you have the pictures queued up or what?
Which picture?
The ones that we care about.
Oh yeah.
Not that one.
Not that one?
No.
Oh jeez. Then no. Hold on.
Good hell.
There you go.
Let's see what we got here.
That's not her.
That's not it either.
That's not her either.
No, that ain't it.
One of these is her, I think.
As if the ones we cared about was the graphic that I made.
It was a pretty good graphic. You know, I don't know.
You don't know which baby's yours?
Oh, I know. I know there's only one. There you go. I think that's one. There you go.
All right. There we go.
It'll make Keith so happy.
It will. Look at this.
It'll make him so
happy. Look at this.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of a picture of Pogue than a picture of Pogue and his baby.
Proud Papa, he is.
There you go.
Yeah. What, she back to being gaining weight? Everybody's good?
Yeah, no complaints.
Oh,
there you
go. Fantastic.
There you go.
Can we get that one? Or like an actual picture of the child?
Apparently not.
We'll wait till the next
apparently not.
The next stoppage.
We'll figure it out.
There's one.
Second down and about 14 to go after the loss. And it's going to be play action for Chatham. He's chased out to his right, and he throws incomplete. Again, he was looking for his brother, John Chatham, and he'll bring up third and long.
Yeah, nice defense by the Cougars.
Did you get it to load?
Yeah, hang on.
It's a good thing your wife doesn't watch this.
She might be watching. Probably not, though.
The next time will be the first time. Pogue producing nothing right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see it.
Hold on. I gotta rotate it too. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Good. All right, now we gotta wait till after the next play.
Down.
I'm excited here about babies, and you're making me watch football. Jesus. 2:43 to go first quarter. Montgomery trails at 2-0 after the 2-run homer by the Hamilton special teams. Chatham is going for it all up the left sideline. And incomplete. Good coverage by Nino Spera, again looking for his brother, John.
Yeah, Nino was doing a great job, turned his hips, and then just put himself between Chatham and the ball.
Punting situation coming for the Hornets. Thomas Clugston, 6 foot, 177 pounds. He's a junior, and Davino will wait back inside the 10-yard line.
Last punt was quite good, so we'll see how this one goes.
Indeed so. See Davino there.
I'm feeling a big return.
And Clugston gets a great foot on it. Wow, this kid is good.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Now, get a little control of that thing, but the power is not lacking from Mr. Clugston. No. So I would say we're certainly in field goal range the last time they were down there.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I mean, unless he can't kick off a tee, but
that would be a major coup if that happened. You know, you were talking about a girl being a kicker for a team. I remember the first time In Mercer County history that had happened was when I was writing for the Trenton Times. Bridget Katniss switched from soccer to football, and she was pretty darn good. It wasn't just like, oh, yeah, we don't have a kicker. It was like, no, like she won the job.
Yeah. I mean, that was a similar story. It was a former soccer player who just could, kick the daylights out of the ball.
No doubt. Eubanks looking for some room off the right side, and you see Hamilton just trying to rip the ball out of there. Good ball security by Eubanks for 7.
Yeah, that's like blood in the water, man. You get one fumble recovery, and then you're just like, I'm going to rip it all day.
It's clearly something they were, coached to do. Adi McCollum and Zayshawn Dixon both there just like ripping at the ball and Eubanks' arm.
Yeah.
That's why you lift weights. Pick them up and put them back down.
That's why you put, both hands around the ball once you get into that situation,
Second down and short for Schmelzer, and it's going to go to Eubanks again off the left side. And Chris has a first down as he rumbles out past the 35-yard line to the 37. Gain of 6 and a first down for the Cougs.
And that was a great job for him to get a few extra yards after the initial contact. Kind of bounced into it, was able to slide to the left and get another 4 or 5 yards.
Been a lengthy, kind of staccato first quarter. Every time somebody seems to be getting something going, there's a turnover, there's an injury, not a lot of flow so far in the first quarter.
Yeah. You told me 2-0, I would have asked you. I was like, no, I don't want to know the soccer game score.
Seriously. Here's Eubanks, and they are going to say something happened before the play as a flag flies. Now it's offside on Hamilton, so a free 5 yards coming.
I'll take it.
For the Cougs.
Noise.
Take whatever you can get at this point as we approach the 1-minute mark of quarter number 1.
First and 5 is a great position to be in. You have your whole playbook is open to you.
Schmelzer will throw it. Zings it out to the left, and that's incomplete. A little too tall for Eddie Kian. So
a little apprehension maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Get his hands up. Last time when it bounced off, he got it intercepted.
It's typically kind of the ball on the tee or the low-hanging fruit, to use a cliche that I used in the pregame. This is the classic trap game, right?
Oh, yeah. You always say that, don't look past your opponent, but it's hard to do sometimes.
Schmelzer on third down will roll to his left, throwing deep up the left side. He's got a man there, and it is incomplete off of the hands of McManus, and that would have been a humongous play.
Was that Vargas on the coverage? He
Yep.
did a very nice job of closing that space up and getting a hand up there.
So check that. That was second down because of the penalty. So third down and 5 to go for the Cougs as they will rush to the line to get things moving. Maybe we can catch Hamilton unawares.
I mean, I like the play, man. He was open. Just need to get, got the hard
nearly
count.
offside as they went for the hard count. Schmelzer's changing something up here as he's signaling out to the wide receivers. And Mike's going to throw again on third down. Looking, throwing, caught, complete, first down out of midfield.
I like it.
McManus hauls it in right. Yeah, we'll call it just shy of the. Oh, no, they're going to say incomplete. Oh, all right. Guess not. That's the second time today that the officials on that side of the field have confused me a little bit. So it'll be a fourth down and 5 punting situation. Go hard count again here. Maybe get him to jump and get a free one.
That'd be nice.
McManus gets it away, a low spiraling kick, and that'll bounce out of bounds just outside the 20-yard line.
It's not a bad kick, though.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter, and a very unlikely set of circumstances unfolded through the first 11 minutes. 2-0 Hamilton.
I mean, both offenses have been pretty stagnant. No big plays and making some mistakes that give them the other opportunity. the other team an opportunity.
Rob Chatham has the game's lone biggish play.
Yeah.
Keeper off the left side. But that drive did not result in any points because he subsequently threw a pick at the 3.
Which
It's kind of a magic trick,
yeah,
interception.
Which we returned the favor shortly after.
100%. He will go under center, will Mr. Chatham, and Elijah Diarra is into the neutral zone before getting started. Rough first quarter for one of my favorite players, Mr. Diarra. Lost a fumble and now a penalty, but beautiful part about football is the game gets really long.
Yeah.
You got a lot of time and a lot of snaps to make up for things.
Elijah comes off, maybe to regain his composure.
Sometimes you just need to step away from something, and figure life out for a second.
Yeah.
Chatham again under center, and he will give to the tailback. And a little bit of running room, but not a ton. Maybe about 2 yards off the right side. It'll be second down and short coming up for the Hornets.
Yeah, decent ball movement. That penalty comes up big because now,
I don't think Hamilton is going to have to snap it, but they may before the end of quarter number 1.
I don't know. I think they're probably content going into just
I would
letting it
be.
go, I mean, it's not the half or anything. They get the ball back, but looks like they're going to do it, though.
Chatham breaks the huddle. 2 receivers out to his right. And he will look to throw it. And he is going to be sacked by Sapansky.
That's our guy.
Big number 78, Lucas Sapansky in on the sack, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 1. Hamilton wishes they just sat on that thing.
I can't see it, but I know there's a big old smile underneath that helmet right there.
We've played 12 minutes in Skillman, and wouldn't you know it, 2-0 Hamilton. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery High School. Quarter number 2 underway as Hamilton faces a 3rd down and long after the sack by Sapansky.
It's been crazy offensively for both teams. Every time they take a few steps forward.
Yeah, bad snap, and now
Ball's
a fumble.
out.
Ball is still out. I think Montgomery's got this.
I think they got it.
I think Montgomery pounces on top of this thing. They do. Guidetti was right there. He pulled it right out of the hands of Chatham, and a turnover for Montgomery. Man, you went from second down and a breath to 3rd and long to having the ball inside the 15-yard line. That's a big, big play by Guidetti.
That's amazing. It's going to get, hopefully, the offense fired up. Now, you're like, you can smell it. The end zone's right there. Get this ball rolling for the offense.
If I'm Schmelzer and Cardi, I'm saying, what do we have dialed up here that's going to get us in the end zone on this first play?
Oh, 100%.
Because you really want to take this momentum and run with it. It was by Montgomery standard, a horrendous first quarter. Let's call it what it was.
I'm running with Schmelzer.
I'd figure out some kind of misdirection and roll him and try to get somebody open in the end zone. They give it a deep back. It's Eubanks, and Chris
Almost.
slips through the last tackle inside the 10-yard line to about the 9.
Still an excellent run, you know. Cut the different distance in half.
2nd down and 5. Montgomery can get a first down without scoring a touchdown inside the 5 there. So, again, Schmelzer will go under center in the heavy package. And it's play action. He's going to throw.
Wide open.
Got him in the flat. It's caught. Do they get to the pylon? Is he in? He is. Touchdown. Eddie Kwan.
Yeah, it was a great pattern, man. Wide open in the flat and just easily walks in the end zone.
Montgomery on the scoreboard. Muddle huddle as they often do. So we'll pay attention to that so we don't get caught off guard like we usually do. It's only taken us 5 games to figure out we should pay attention to the extra point.
I mean, I think you try to get the 2 here. Well, maybe not.
We have a flag. We'll see what the call is.
Illegal substitution.
Looks like a false start or illegal. I don't know. They're saying illegal formation. It had to be illegal formation because they didn't even. But I don't understand that. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, they were short a guy. That's number 1. That could be why. So maybe it could have been illegal formation because we didn't have the right number of people on the field. So it'll be a little bit of a longer extra point here for McFadden. High snap. Schmelzer is going to turn around and run for it. Now he's going to come all the way back the other way, looking like Kyler Murray. Heaves it toward the end zone and knocked up in the air and incomplete. A valiant effort to try to come back for that one by Eddie Kwan, but
I mean, I love that.
check that. It was Golubitsky.
I love that, man. He came back, put his body on the line, and almost got it.
How about that Kyler Murray play from last week? 21 seconds or something like that, going for 2.
That was crazy.
Unbelievable. I was in the drowning my sorrows watching the Falcons game. Watching that, I'm like, oh yeah, great, yeah, it's a fantastic play by Murray. I don't really care. It was the most fantastic play of the season. I don't care. Ugh.
Helped me in fantasy a little bit. Got 2 points.
Aaron Judge struck out in his first plate appearance for the Yanks. So
just going for it.
No history yet in the Bronx. Looks like the Cardinals' first pitch is not until 10:10, so we'll likely be off the air by the time Pujols gets going. So we'll try to keep an eye on Judge as best we can.
There might be somebody out there that one day is going to be like, I remember when this happened. I heard it on the MIRE.
That's right. If you're getting your news from the MIRE, let me assure you, you are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Welcome to Skillman in high school football. 6-2, Montgomery leads it. If you could believe that.
Here we
you get 6-2 in a Super Bowl box, and you're like, listen, I'm not even going to watch the game.
Yeah.
Good kick by McFadden, and it's Hamilton from the 9. And a nice return, but a big hit out there.
I think this is where we start rolling.
It was Dylan Esom on the return.
Nice little stop by Nino.
Yeah, Nino Sparrow's done a good job, both on the outside at corner. He's one of those guys that, the scrappy cornerbacks that, maybe not the biggest guy, but isn't afraid to put his body out there. We've been pretty much for 2 years now been calling his name pretty consistently on the outside, and not for the reasons you don't want to be called out either.
Yeah. No, I love that kid. He's like you said, scrappy. He works hard. You know what I mean? He's going to get his fundamentals straight and make some big plays when they need to be made.
Chatham on first down. He's going to keep it running out to his right, cuts it upfield, and he's got some decent yardage. Guidetti trips him up from behind, out past the 30-yard line.
Decent gain, however.
Gain of about 7. that's certainly been where Hamilton's had the most success tonight, is Chatham keeping it on the ground.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a bit more of that as the game progresses.
Poke, you alive over there, buddy?
Yeah, doing great.
All right, just checking. I mean, you're a man of a few words most times, but I feel like, you know, and I got to tell you, I'm a little out of sorts. I miss you. You're not at work. So, like, you know, I haven't talked to you as much, you know.
It's your voice.
This is a normal amount of words, though.
I guess. You know, feel free to, you know, say hi to everybody every once in a while. On brand. Here's a give to the fullback. And that's a great job up front. I got to tell you, Landon Dicker right there, just, it is really, really, really hard to tackle a guy who is 6 foot, 246 pounds.
Yeah.
All right? And I don't really care that he only got a 2-yard head start on you. 6 foot, 246 is tough to bring down. And Landon just said, listen, I'm going low because going high is going to be a problem.
Yeah. You and I were thinking on the same wavelength. As soon as he got the ball, I was like, "How big is this kid?"
Oh yeah,
Like, I went right to the stat sheet.
Absolutely.
He's a big boy.
Second carry of the game for Rowell. So it's 3rd down and short for Hamilton. Blitz coming from Montgomery, and we are going to have, what are they going to call? And it's a delay of game. Wow, that's tough. That's really tough on 3rd and short if you're Hamilton. Now it's going to bring up 3rd and 8.
Much harder to get.
Thanks, Cotton. No, he will not be able to see, Cotton. Oh, my gosh.
John Madden's gotten away with that for...
John Madden's dead. Rest in peace, okay?
Well, true. John
Madden's getting away with whatever he wants right now,
got
okay?
away with that for the longest time.
John Madden also has a video game named after him. He also won the Super Bowl.
So you're saying I can't get away
That's
with it?
correct.
All right.
3rd down, and a bad snap again, but Chatham's got it. He's rolling out to his left. Throws it. It's
good
knocked
pressure.
down. A great play out there. Looked like by Will Dawson. And are they going to say that that's still – was that caught?
Is that a flag down, though? Or is that a towel?
You know what? Was that play caught?
It looks like it got deflected and then caught by the running back as he was
holding against Hamilton. I would decline this.
Yeah.
I would decline this if I'm Montgomery. There you go. And they do. So it'll bring up 4th down. Great play by Will Dawson to get his hands on the football.
Yeah, I mean, confusing play altogether, but
because I gave up on it. I gave up on where the ball went because I was kind of watching him to watch Will's celebration on the play. And
it was one of those things. I saw it deflected. I was like, oh, great deflection. And then they're still playing.
And I thought maybe, I'm like, wow, are they calling this a fumble? That's why I was asking if it was a catch.
Ooh.
And some pressure, but a good job to not hit the punter.
What a boot, man.
Davino
That kid's got a leg.
Fields it, makes a man miss, still on his feet, coming back to the near side, and tries to cut up field. That's one of those, you run about 45 yards to get 3.5. But when you're, when you're a coach on Montgomery's team and it's Davino back there dancing like that, dance away, my friend.
I mean, every so often it works out, right?
For him, more often than not.
Yeah.
So the Montgomery offense still looking to get untracked a little bit as they've been middling at best so far here tonight.
Yeah, but I feel like that touchdown is like, you know how when we cover the basketball games and there's like presumably a lid on the basket and then all of a sudden you hit that 3 and then it starts waterfalling. I feel like that's what happened here with this score, or is going to happen here at least.
It's Eubanks on 1st down. Chris squeaks through the first layer, and he's got about 3. Just past the midfield stripe.
Good 1st down play, get the yards.
Drives me nuts looking at it. And it's the first time I noticed it because I don't ref lacrosse here, obviously. You know, I'm not reffing Montgomery. There's no line through the M, which is a penalty in lacrosse. And it's like negotiating that in the pregame. It's like, oh, my God, somebody paint the line. Second down, and it's going to be Eubanks again. Chris has got room off the left side. Great cutback to the inside for the first down, inside the 40, and still pushing the pile down to about the 37-yard line. That's a fantastic cutback by Eubanks.
Yeah, that's great field vision. You know, I'm looking for him to bounce, but he saw something I obviously didn't, and then got an additional like 7 yards from it.
That kind of lateral quickness, it's like, you know, there's things that I'm impressed with. And typically we're impressed with things that we can't do ourselves. Like, why do I like dunks? Because I can't dunk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that lateral quickness that, you know, that Eubanks showed there. And here he is again on first down. And this time he will take it a little more straightforward. But again, pushing the pile to the 32. So a nice gain of about 7.
Yeah, he's really demonstrating great field vision here. Even like the 2 or 3 yard gains, he's finding that little gap that's able to, you know, get those gains.
Clock ticking under 7 minutes to go in the first half. A low-scoring affair in Montgomery. Cougars in search of a 5-0 start for the first time in, I don't know, but quite a while. Let's say that. You can tell that I've done my research. It's college application season, as Aryan Gurusamy reminded us, as Eubanks searches for the first down, and he's close, but I think a hair short.
Spending a lot of time on Naviance.
Oh, my gosh. I'm like, I hate this time of year because I feel like I'm just like tethered to my desk. And I like writing. Obviously, I was a journalist and all. But like just having to sit there and it's just paperwork on top of paperwork on top of paperwork. When like there's a kid, I get a phone call that there's a kid outside. I'm like, yes, please, send him back. Tell him to be chatty. Third down and short for Montgomery. And Schmelzer's going to throw for it. He's going all for it. He's got Davino down there, and he's got it.
Yes.
Touchdown, Cougars. 29 yards from Schmelzer to Davino, and I guess it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, like I said, man, they hit that 3 to get it going. Now they're waterfalling. They're rolling.
Man, it doesn't matter, I guess, somehow when you put as much on tape as they have. Like, I would just put 3 guys on him. I'm sorry. Trey McFadden's extra point is up and good, so Montgomery scrapes out to a 13-2 lead.
Getting some breathing room.
Yeah, extending that lead, that's just kind of where you want to be.
You know, I feel like now that kind of the shock that Hamilton West was maybe a little bit better than they anticipated has wore off, they get more back into their game plan a little bit more and are able to be pretty successful in the last 2 offensive series.
Look like I'm trying to
Well, I can tell he
figure
didn't
out
get
the
a home run because it's 1-0.
track here for Judge. Looks like Judge is going to be up 3rd in this inning for the Yanks in the bottom 3.
Now you're doing something. You're dual announcing here.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Is the Yes Network gonna?
No, it's Apple TV. That's why
yeah,
Apple TV
Apple
Plus
TV.
only. Which, if you're Apple TV Plus, no one's watched the games all year. Okay, like I get it. You have a deal with Major League Baseball. Nobody's watching, and you end up with Aaron Judge on a Friday night trying to tie Roger Maris. You couldn't have drew that up any better. Montgomery almost drew that one up well, and it went out of bounds just a little bit before Keith Holloway could get there. I bet you that was closer than we think. The play was just so far away from us physically here on this side that the home crowd didn't really get into it. But
Yeah, about as far away as you could be.
yeah. Hamilton's not going to make Montgomery re-kick it. They're going to take it at the 35 with 5:55.
That's decent field position.
Sure.
You get a lot of recommendation letter requests.
I have to write one for every senior, dude.
Every senior?
Every single one. So I got 62
but like
to write this
like
year.
a full-fledged
Full on letter, baby.
Oh, boy.
It's how we roll, Montgomery Guidance. 1st and 10 for Hamilton from the 35-yard line. This is going to be a keeper. And
Good
a big hit out
hits.
there. Schick and Golubitsky had him wrapped up. Golubitsky had him, and Schick kind of finished him off.
Yeah,
There's a hanky on the field.
She came in and cleaned it up.
Right at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a hold on Hamilton, so that's going to back him up. Not really what you want if you're Hamilton.
I don't necessarily get that many requests to write the recommendations just because I'm
Sure.
a coach, but every time they ask me, I'm like, "You sure? You know, I'm your coach, right? You know,
Yeah.
I'm not like your physics teacher, you know."
Aaron Judge at the plate for the Yanks. Aaron Hicks is homered, it looks like. I'd love to be able to turn it on, but I don't have Apple TV Plus.
Wrong Aaron, huh?
Not yet. 1st down and 20. And they're going to look to throw up the left side. Great coverage. And is that picked? No. Incomplete. Sparrow with great coverage up the left side.
He almost took that one out of thin air, man.
Chatham's got a great arm, as you can see. So if you're Hamilton, you can see why they're throwing.
I mean, that was a great ball. The receiver also had a chance at it. It was just good coverage by Nino.
Second down. Here comes the blitz. And a screen and a huge hit. Like a missile, Guidetti flies in.
Man.
And another loss of 5 on the play. Guidetti smelled that one from about 10 yards away. And, man, if you're a linebacker, man, is there anything better?
No. And you know what the best is? I saw that out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, this is definitely a screen. And then I see Guidetti kind of like flashing. I think like we almost made the read at the same time. But he just cleaned his clock.
Oh, my goodness.
What a great shot, man.
So it's 3rd down and forever. Hamilton needs the 45-yard line for a 1st down. So let's see if Chatham's got something in his bag of tricks. He will hand it off up the middle, and nothing doing as the Cougs had that one bottled up. Alex Lemus, my favorite Cougar. And it'll bring up a punting situation.
It's a good opportunity for Montgomery. We get a score right before the half. What's your ESPN app saying?
Aaron Judge flied out to deep left. So still in search of tying Mr. Maris is the judge. Again, a lot of time from Hamilton on this play, and they better snap it in a hurry, and they're not gonna. They're gonna take a timeout, it looks like. Timeout coming from Hamilton, 3:30 to go, 2nd quarter. We'll take a break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Cougars are going to have another crack at offense here with 3:30 to go, which, you know, as we know in high school football is an eternity.
Yeah, more than enough time.
Oh, and they almost get there again, and maybe they did. It forced a
Oh.
And that went off of the back of somebody, I think. Yeah. And
You almost wonder if he got a piece of it at the punter.
yeah, it might have, but it looked like Tim Schwartz actually didn't know the ball was bouncing, and maybe there was no poison call or anything like that, but the ball actually went off of him, and Montgomery fortunate to fall on it.
Well, a kick like that's tough. You hear poison, but it's already in the middle of 4 people.
Davino spread all the way out to the top side of your screen now on 1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line of Hamilton. Schmelzer will look to throw it. And again, he's going down the seam for Davino. He got held up there.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And no flag, but certainly not a clean release through the middle. Zayshawn Dixon was kind of in a hand fight with Davino up the seam. But
Yeah,
Schmelzer looked, thought he was going to be running free out there, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, he kind of just got held up just enough to make the pass soar.
2nd down. Plus side of the field for the Cougs, and it's Eubanks. And Chris will pick and choose his way forward and has a great gain of about 8.
Just churning those legs, man.
Clock still rolling. You don't want to, if you don't convert again, you don't want to leave Hamilton too much time. Though
I'm saying this is 2-down territory.
I would think so on 3rd and short. I would just hurry up and give this thing to Guidetti and say, Gavin, go get this
get
thing.
Get your 1st down.
Schmelzer, and it is Guidetti. Gavin off the right side. He's got the 1st down, and he's dragging Hamilton players inside the 30-yard line down to the 28.
And I'm watching some of Hamilton's players just trying to lower the shoulder. But on a guy like Guidetti, you got to wrap because lowering the shoulder on him is probably not going to work.
And Gavin's one of those guys that I was asking him about it at the end of last season when we did our season closing podcast series, just about lifting in the weight room. And he was saying, yeah, he's one of the guys that at that time, the few guys who could bench 225, out for reps as Schmelzer on 1st down. He's going to turn those hips, throwing for the end zone, looking for McManus. Oh, and they just had a little heel clicker. And we call that the Dorothy rule in lacrosse. Guys just got a little tangled up out there and incomplete.
But you can't say enough good things about that pass, though.
Man, Schmelzer's got a
across
cannon.
His body, just beautiful, like only where the receiver could catch it. If he doesn't get tangled, there's a chance.
Well, what I really like about that is, it takes a really special kind of guy. You can throw a 13 or 14-yard out on the run to your offside, but you want to put that like where that was. He flipped his hips around and really used the whole body. That's what you want. And Guidetti, he'll have it on 2nd down, and he's got a big gain and a 1st down still rolling inside the 20.
Whew.
So, and I guess that's a great segue to remind me to finish that story that Guidetti was telling me. He's one of the only guys back then that could bench 225, and how important he felt it was for for more guys on the team to get to that number, because it kind of represented a place where they felt they could be physically imposing. So Gavin, when you look at him, he's lean, but he is strong.
Yeah.
So a new set of downs for the quarterback Schmelzer as he'll look to throw to the end zone for Davino. Oh, and great coverage as the route got undercut there as Davino went for Jaquay Kelly. That's about as good a coverage as we've seen on Davino all year long.
Yeah, Davino still did a great job getting a hand on it, almost pulling it down, but that would have been a ESPN Sports Center top 10 type catch.
Just a couple of mirroring posts on that play. Nothing too fancy, but almost worked out. So 2nd down now, and Schmelzer again will throw. Again looking for the end zone for Davino. Back shoulder throw. Does he go? Oh, my goodness. I almost thought he trapped that on the back of the defender.
That's tough. I mean, I feel like the referee is really letting the defenders play today, and not, because there's been a couple times where it could have been It could have been interference.
I actually didn't have a problem with that one, unlike last week. And I when we went back and watched it last week, the way that the camera upstairs was set up, like it ran right into the post, right on the offensive pass interference. So the folks at home couldn't even see it.
Oh.
And what a horrendous call I thought it was. So another timeout coming here from Hamilton. $1:29 to go. You know what? I love the continued aggressiveness by Sean Carty and this Montgomery staff. They have all of the faith in the world in Schmelzer.
Yeah.
And I guess why wouldn't you at this point, too? Because it's not like if you give this ball back, the Hamilton offense has looked like it can sustain something, that you're real worried about.
Like you said, they're confident in their offense, but even more so, I think right now they're confident in their defense. They don't think that Hamilton is going to be moving the ball. I mean, technically, Montgomery has done all of the scoring in this game.
That is true.
So there's nothing to worry about at this present moment. What impresses me is how our offensive line is calmed down.
Yeah.
To be so porous in the first few plays, and then to now giving Schmelzer all kinds of time to pass. They figured it out.
Michael will throw it again up the right side that time, and we're going to get pass interference on this one as it was intended again for Davino. Multiple flags fly.
Every official threw one. I think Hamilton's coach threw one.
That would be surprising, but, we could roll with that. So this should be a first down for Montgomery. Let's see. In theory, this is a 10-yard penalty and a first down. It's not an automatic first down, as it might be in college or the pros.
The 10 yards should get us it.
It is pass interference, and as predicted. Oh, they go half the distance. Oh, because it must be a 15-yarder, I suppose, then at that point. So half the distance, first and goal, and we get whistles. Well, half the distance wouldn't be a first down.
True.
Half the distance should be at about the 9.5.
But why would it be half the distance when they were at the 20?
They were inside the 20.
They were inside the 20. But
yeah.
Still, you could get the 10-yard penalty. Isn't it only half the distance when you can't?
Well, if half the distance it would have to be at the 20 to get it to the 10. So if you went half the distance, it has to be second down, or third down and short, I should say. And they do have it marked as third and short, but the chains aren't up, are they? We got to get that sorted out.
A lot of confusion.
Somebody's got it. Yeah, and there they go. They're telling, hey guys, go pick those chains up. There you go.
We need those.
Yeah, we could use those still. So they get it right. Good job by the folks in the zebra outfits, my people. And it is going to be Guidetti searching for the end zone. Off the right side, still going. Touchdown. Gavin Guidetti hammers home touchdown number 2 for Montgomery, or number 3, I should say, for Montgomery.
Hard to stop, man. You got Guidetti the ball and a little bit of room, and he's getting you at least 6 or 7.
9-yard score that time for Gavin. And the extra point pending.
It's always great when your quarterback's your holder because you got so many possibilities.
High snap, but Schmelzer gets it down. McFadden's got a ton of leg on that one. It's right down Broadway. So Montgomery extends the lead out to 22-2. So things settling in a little bit now, Timmy.
Yeah, more of the game that we anticipated.
Took a little bit longer. I mean, sometimes that happens. I mean, there are, as we like to say, this is why they don't play the games on paper. They play them inside of little television sets because anything can happen when you're playing sports.
100%. But I kind of always thought that it was going to settle down by the time we got into like the second quarter. Hamilton came out with a game plan, probably had some ideas of ways to stop them defensively, ways to get some yards offensively. And, in the beginning of the game when that's fresh and new, it's harder to deal with. But once you've seen some things, and then they start getting into more of their familiar offenses and things that you've prepared for, then the players settle down and kind of do the things that they were practicing all week.
Should plug this. I'll wait till after the kickoff, and then we could talk about it a little bit. McFadden puts a foot on it, and Hamilton from the 10. This is Esam, and Golubitsky's there, along with Spera. So, we talked about the officials getting that right there in that half the distance situation and making sure everything was set before they got going. This is if you're ever considering reffing anything, this is the time to start because the NJSIAA, which is the governing body of athletics in the state of New Jersey, is basically going to pay your way to that across sports right now because they recognize the officiating shortage. So, where normally you'd have to join up and pay for a class and pay for a background check and pay for this and pay for that before you ever step on a field, the state is basically subsidizing the whole thing as the handoff goes to Hamilton on the first play of this drive.
Nice swarm of Cougars able to make the stop. So you're saying that you and I could officiate lacrosse together?
We could, should you choose to do that. Your admission, should you choose to accept it, Tim, to become a lacrosse official.
I can go from knowing little to nothing about it to
listen,
being the Keith Glock of
you can run, and you're young, so yeah. And it would probably take you like 2 years if you listen to me.
If I listen to you.
And you think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
1 year if I don't.
That might be true.
That's the most untrue thing I've ever heard.
They're gonna say false start. That would have been a meeting of the minds in the backfield between Nasir Rowell and it looked like Landon Dicker, but a flag before it got going. 19.4 to go. There was another, to put that, shed some more light on that. South Jersey soccer officials, Monday and Tuesday of this, or Tuesday and Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday, whatever 2 days this week it was, summarily blocked out their availability. The entire association blocked out its availability for 2 days, effectively putting a halt on scholastic soccer because of the way that coaches and players and fans were acting. And listen, I'll tell you, it's a problem.
It is.
It's a big problem. There was something horrendous that happened in lacrosse in the spring. I like as much idiocy as we talk about it on the air. I can't say it on the air. Like that's
really?
How bad it was.
Wow.
It was something that the likes of which I have never heard and I would never repeat to a mass audience.
Wow.
Was not just said to an official, was screamed at an official.
Coach or players or parents?
Parents. And like I was horrified.
Aghast,
I was horrified. And I was not on the I was given the film to watch and listen to it and boy, we could talk about that a little bit later when we get back a little closer to the start of quarter number 3. Montgomery with a little bit of breathing room thanks to 3 second quarter touchdowns. They lead at 20-2 in search of 5-0. We're at halftime against Hamilton. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Nicole DeMays, live at Cougar Stadium. Montgomery with a 20-2 lead over Hamilton. A stilted beginning for the Cougs, and an opening drive saw them go nothing but backwards and then snap the ball out of the end zone. But since then, they've been pretty well in control of things. You're starting to, although not, I would have to think, not nearly as consistent as Zorn Milic or Sean Carty would want on offense.
No, definitely not. They haven't gotten the things going that they thought maybe they could. But at the end of the day, some big plays made by some big players. You got a nice, comfortable lead going into this second half. It'll go a long way to get a nice defensive stop and a quick offensive score, and then you're kind of, coasting through.
You already saw Joe Rossman go down with an injury. This is the kind of game, now you're basically kind of thinking, well, how do we get out of here with everybody intact? And, health is obviously always the most important thing. Big game against Watchung Hills coming up next week.
Yep.
So we'll be certainly prepared for that one.
I actually love games like this. Like, if we can get another score, you're going to start seeing some of those second-string players, getting some time. And when you can get time in, like, the third quarter, like, it's good, right?
Yes.
You get to get some looks that you don't normally do, and maybe show something. Maybe earn a spot, getting a couple extra downs per game. So it's an opportunity for a lot of the younger Cougars.
We talked more at the half of about officiating, with Will Dawson's dad too, who's here actually pulling a little double duty. He's a member of the crew that's officiating this game, so he's actually fortunate. He's getting paid to run the clock and gets to watch his son tonight. That's always a nice thing.
Yeah.
But again, if you missed us before the half, I'll plug it again. If you're ever thinking about officiating anything, now's the time, because the state's going to subsidize your whole way. So I'll certainly plug lacrosse as Hamilton takes the opening kickoff of the second half from the 14-yard line and out past the 25. So, obviously my connection to lacrosse is well documented on this channel. And if you want to officiate lacrosse, you can either reach out to me directly, keith@mireradio.com, or head on over to our website, njiloa.org, and you can fill out an application there, and it's not going to cost you a thing. Timmy, I'll see you in the spring.
All right. Meanwhile, a little bit of a flag on the field.
Personal foul against Montgomery, so that'll tack on 15 yards.
I mean, I think if I were to officiate, I might do lacrosse. I like the idea of being able to, get a workout in and still, run.
Yeah.
and still get paid.
I mean, that's the rub for a lot of people, is the average age of the officials. It pretty much across the board in all sports is just, it's higher than we want it to be. Let's say that. It's certainly higher than we want it to be in lacrosse, though I feel like we have a small core group of guys in lacrosse that are really good. So, and there's a quarterback keeper again off the right side, and another really nice tackle in the backfield. Looked like Zach Schick that time, who came in there like a dart.
I used to umpire softball as a college.
All right, I'm gonna listen. All right, let me amend my statement to anybody that's thinking about officiating anything out there.
No umpires.
Only officiate in a sport where there's a clock. Okay, gotta have a clock.
Yeah. I did 14 and under softball.
See if you shut that door, Pogue.
And that was one of the where you'd get a great pitcher and not a great catcher.
Yeah.
You're just dodging bullets.
Toss sweep out to the left, and Isam is going to be tackled after a gain of maybe 2, and going to have a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against Hamilton, so that'll back them up. looks like we have an injury as well right at the midfield line. Hamilton player. It looks like it's John Chatham, quarterback Rob Chatham's brother.
Yeah, that's not good, though. That's one
No.
of his favorite targets.
And he is up pretty quickly, so
Maybe just a cramp.
gotta like that. Who's cramping tonight? It is freaking freezing out here. If you are watching this in the comfort of
Cold
your own
cramp.
home, you are smart.
Wise decision.
So they'll mark off the penalty back to the 34-yard line.
I missed my opportunity to give my daughter a shout-out. She was watching it, and my wife texted me, but I missed it. She likes to talk to the screen because she thinks I can hear it.
Well, we need a recording of that. Please tell
Yeah.
Heather that we're going to need to put that on the air.
Yeah. Well, when I tell you 8, people are going to be like, she thinks that?
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
Chatham throwing it out to the right, and that's actually a great ball. Incomplete, unfortunately, for Hamilton to Zaire Evans, but well placed by Chatham.
yeah. Holloway was there to make, if he made the catch, he was going to be immediately pushed out, but
That would have been
Still.
first down yardage,
yeah,
though.
100%. It was still a very nice throw.
Just throw that deep out.
The receiver kind of got turned around, and he
Yeah.
didn't really have himself in a good position to make that play.
Some of these guys make play in the receiver position look really easy. I assure you it is not. There is so much coordination that goes on. Third down and 20 for Hamilton, and Chatham will throw it again. Here comes the blitz, and he is hammered as he gets rid of that one. Guidetti delivered an absolute bomb of a hit.
Let's have himself a bit of a day.
And you know what? Good on Guidetti. You know, if you go back and watch that one again, lowering the strike zone, leading with the shoulder, he actually turned almost all the way to the side to make sure that he didn't use his head or get Chatham's head involved in the play. That really is, evolution in terms of how things are being coached, how the kids are taught to hit.
Oh.
And
Poison.
Poison is right, as that one was shanked. And it looks like the punt's only going to go about 4 yards, but the pressure up the middle by Montgomery forced that punt to be what it was. So it'll be good field position to start things for the Cougs.
Exactly, the opposite of what we did in the first half. Right?
Yes.
So great defensive stop. So now let's see offensive. The offense put a touchdown on the board.
Mike Schmelzer leads the troops out onto the field. And it's going to be Eubanks. And Chris picking his way up the middle for a nice gain of about 6 or 7.
He's doing a great job just keeping his legs moving, and he's been moving the pile all night. So I like to see it continue.
Although, yeah, he's down. Eubanks still down on the ground for a second.
I think he looks all right as he drags himself.
Just doing the old, looks like my dog doing the butt scoot out there. But he's up, and you got to hope Chris is okay. Couple of teammates there to help him get off the field.
It doesn't look like they're helping much, though.
No. Well, we're here, buddy, but we're not going to do anything
Put
for you.
my hand on your shoulder here. Like, get under his arm. Got Rob helping him out.
Second down and about 5 for the Cougs. 2 backs for Schmelzer. And it's Guidetti as he looks for room on the left side and makes one man miss, still on his feet inside the 30. He's got a first down to about the 27-yard line.
Nice run.
It's unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable. Actually, it's very believable. The confidence that guy, guys gain as you become an upperclassman, and the more experience you have on the field and being around the ball with the ball in your hand. Guidetti just looks so confident with the ball in his hands.
To have the confidence you did when you were in high school.
Ugh,
if only.
I wish. New set of downs for the signal caller Schmelzer, and it's Eddie Kwan off the left side this time. And only a couple available for Eddie on that one.
I love watching Eddie get the ball, though.
Well put together kid.
Yeah.
Runs hard.
Just a big dude, and you know what I mean.
What did you guys just see? What Davino did? What was that? Does anybody pay attention to that? You all missed that. It was he did like almost like a ballerina like jump. That was very odd. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Here's Guidetti on the handoff again, and Gavin bowling his way down toward the 20, bringing us up a third down and about 3 or 4.
And now just plugging 3 yards at a time up the field.
Keep that clock moving if you can, if you're Montgomery.
Absolutely. You know, like you said earlier, it's just get out of here with the victory.
That's it. Guidetti on Schmelzer's left hip, and Sparrow goes in motion, and it'll be Gavin still on his feet, picking his way inside the 15-yard line. Another first down for Guidetti and the Cougs.
Just some tough running.
Gavin kind of started, this what seems like converting big third downs. He had one really big one last year, I think against Scotch Plains it was. It really kind of got Montgomery going in the winning direction. And this year, obviously, since he's been back from illness.
It's been his thing.
Yeah.
Making big plays.
They stack the receivers out to the right for Schmelzer, and he's going to throw. Looking over the middle, and it is caught for the touchdown. And that time it's Elaji Diarra on the little skinny post from the tight end position, and Diarra gets his first score of the year.
I mean, and that was a very well-run pattern and an even better delivered pass. You can't say anything bad about that play. Perfectly timed. Beautiful, beautiful play.
So much attention goes to the wide receivers in a situation like that as McFadden booms that one through the uprights to give Montgomery a 26-2 lead. You line up both guys to the short side of the field on a play like that, and you got to be thinking to yourself, if you're Hamilton, you're like, oh man, something's coming here from these guys, maybe like scissors route or something where they're sending two guys to the end zone. And then it's just a physical mismatch in the middle with Diarra as, those long strides got him wide open in the end zone.
I mean, even just creating that space, it's a short pattern, 3-step drop, and he's thrown it on a dime for Elaji just to be able to just get that separation from the linebacker was impressive, and then just comes down with a nice catch and easy touchdown.
And I've been giving him a hard time, too, about dropping passes and whatnot. And I certainly will give him a hard time this week about ball security, too. But did a little bit enough to redeem himself there, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I guess maybe the reverse is also true, right? Even though Diarra is probably the most physically imposing guy on the Montgomery team, he's not a guy that's had the ball in his hands a ton through the years, right? I mean, it's just not been the position that he's played. So now, with the fact that he's like basically gotten elongated and gotten taller. Wow, what a great open field tackle on the kickoff. Fantastic play from Ethan Golubitsky out in the open field. And an injured Hamilton player on the kickoff.
I know, he was just able to, swat and swim right over his blocker and just broke down, makes the tackle.
Man, it's like those cliches you heard him yesterday from your playing days from the coaches. Swat and swim, Bartholomew.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's what he did, man. What do you want me to say?
we were regaling the exploits of Tim Bartholomew in the pregame because today is so for people aren't familiar, the way the playoffs work in Pennsylvania, which is where Tim grew up, is they don't play like sectionals like they do. They play districts, and you played on a district championship team. And we often joke about the exploits or lack thereof of your playing career on the gridiron. And it turns out, folks, we've been completely underselling Timmy's special teams prowess.
Yeah.
Because now, correct me if I'm wrong, if my memory serves from the story that we heard, you blocked 2 kicks in the district championship game, and one return for a touchdown and the other return to put your team in business to get the lead that you never relinquished?
Yeah. It was my soul shining moment as a high school football player.
Okay, now I can't believe I'm the one sticking up for you, because this never happens. Don't ever expect it to happen again. But you blocked 5 kicks as a senior?
I mean, no, that was actually probably my sophomore year, maybe it was sophomore or junior. We got a little aggressive the other years and started roughing the kicker. So they ended up being a little bit more conservative with the number of kicks we were able to go after. But, it's one of those things. You're surrounded by a lot of great teammates. That year, like, Dan Copen's probably there tonight getting honored because he was on that team. So he was for those that don't know, he was the center for New England for so long, and a little bit of time at Denver as well. So
and to actually tell everybody what's happening today. It's the 20th anniversary, so they're doing a little bit of honoring at your high school.
I chose to be here at the MIRE.
Oh, God, we love it. And a toss sweep to Esam. Dylan Esam not really a lot of running room for him all night tonight. Montgomery defensive line doing a really nice job.
Defensively all together. Defensive line, linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks, the whole shebang. Kind of just tying it together.
Next time we get a nice little gain on offense from some of our bigger names, we're gonna play a little game with you, Tim, and everybody at home can play along as well. I'll tease it and leave it right there.
Am I gonna embarrass myself?
No. It's fun.
Like,
flag on the play. False start coming against Hamilton, so we'll back it up 5 yards.
It's going to be like, what's the name of this kid? I was like, I only ever seen him with a helmet on.
That's actually exactly what it's going to be, to be brutally honest with you.
Son of a gun. So yes, I will be embarrassed.
There's the catch, though. It's not quite that simple. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Do they have numbers? Because I have this trusty sheet.
They do, but I'm not going to let you in on the secret about why it's not that simple just yet. But it'll become very noticeable as soon as we begin the game.
Always something new and exciting on the MIRE.
No doubt. Second down and long for Hamilton, and a deep shot up the left side. Intercepted. Out at the 45-yard line. Nino Spera, we've been calling his name all season long. Fantastic coverage, and another turnover for Hamilton.
I love it. Love to see plays like that. I love when guys who work hard get the reward. He's been in great position all night. Almost had a few interceptions earlier, and this one really was a beautiful play.
So effectively, that was kind of like a long punt.
I wouldn't say a long punt.
Well, a decent punt.
You remember their punter, right?
That's fair.
With the exception of the last.
All right, a long, typical high school punt. Yeah. Maybe not today, but
go for the whole thing right now. I want to see.
Take the shot.
I want to see a fade by Davino on the outside.
Nope. Timeout. We'll do that instead.
Or we'll see that.
Want to take it with them, Poke, or you want to stay here? What do you want to do?
Well, you're the one doing all the talking. It's up to you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. First down for the Cougs after the Spera interception.
Going for the home run.
We will see.
Hamilton's coming with the blitz.
And it is going to be Eubanks. Chris has got running room, and they're going to get a hold as Davino.
Looks like the ball came out.
And you know what? Ball's out, but there was another late flag in there. Don't be surprised if this is fouls on both teams. We might have a face mask at the end of this play, but it's certainly a hold on Davino as he got his arm wrapped around one of the Hamilton corners.
Other Hamilton players down.
Looks like two fouls, both of them against Montgomery.
Blocking the back and holding.
Yeah, so obviously you're going to take the hold because that happened much further back towards the line of scrimmage, pretty much at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be first down, and 20 for Montgomery when we come back from this injury stoppage. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Montgomery firmly in control of this one. Took a little bit longer to get unwound offensively than I think anybody would have liked, but, you know, that happens. So the ball is going to be spotted all the way back at Montgomery's 47-yard line. It's Eubanks in the gun with Schmelzer. And Michael's going to roll to his right. And now he's going to uncork it. And there's a man there. Oh, and just out of the reach of McManus.
Can you imagine he hits that pass? I mean, that was a great pass as it is, but oof, it was open.
Just a touch too far. Could have seen him breaking wide open.
I feel like I just get more and more impressed with Schmelzer. Like, obviously, I always thought he was a good quarterback, but just seeing some of the things that he's able to do with his mechanics, throwing on the run, throwing across his body, it's just like those are really hard skills, especially for a high school athlete. And he makes it look effortless.
Second down and 20. And Schmelzer again. He's got a man open. Davino's there. He's behind everybody. This is going to go for a touchdown. 54 yards from Schmelzer to Davino. And that one might look like it might have been a blown coverage because right off the line of scrimmage, Davino had free access to the seam, and Schmelzer was looking his way the whole time.
Like I said, effortless.
Man, when you have a quick strike offense, boy, it just.
I mean, if you don't know where Davino is at all times on defense,
yikes,
that's going to happen.
Yikes. Good snap, good hold. McFadden is good with the extra point, so the lead extends to 33-2. So no better time. Let's just jump into our game here. So we're going to play Name That Player, if you will.
Oh, boy.
So let's take a look and see how many Cougars. And the plot twist was, Timmy, that obviously it's not a current photo.
Yeah.
I got this photo from Mrs. Schmelzer a little earlier in the week and played our own little version of the guessing game of who's who. So how many guys can you guess on that photo?
Well, let's see. I think I know which one's Schmelzer.
You going to tell everybody or you going to keep it to yourself?
Well, the guy behind number 6, is that Mike?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you until you're done guessing, and then we're going to show
Okay,
everybody.
That's my guess.
That's your one guess.
Oh, I gotta look like examine this thing. Pogue is gonna be like, who is this guy? Looks like there's a Donahue there.
Well, we were going with current players.
Yeah. What?
Current-
Hey, no.
current-
No. If that's a Donahue, I get credit. Yeah, that's my guess.
Don't reveal it just yet, Pogue.
Don't reveal it.
Well, we gave everybody at home a little taste, and we'll come back to it, and then we'll reveal the answers in just a little while. Gotta love stuff like that. 34-2, Montgomery leads it, and McFadden puts a foot on it, and it'll be blocked down at the 10, and then a huge hit out at the 25-yard line.
I like it. Bringing the fire.
Great hit out there by Joe Reyes. So
I like seeing Reyes get involved.
yeah. It's too early for me to be this cold. It's too early in the season for me to be this cold.
Dude,
I want you to know that.
Always cold. It's tough too. My wife is the opposite of me, so I'll come home and the air conditioner will be on. I'm like,
Oh,
what
my
are you
goodness.
trying to do to me? I was like, you just want me to leave?
Oh.
You could just.
My buddy Dave does that. He's like, it's dead of winter. He's got no heat on. He's like, it's like 60 in his house, and he's like, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm like, oh, I'm not good. Put the heat on while I'm here. Here's a give to the fullback, and again, Lucas Clark did a great job to just wrap up Nasir Roel.
Making a big play. Nice play. Yeah, my wife, we're at the point where we have separate blankets.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got-
no doubt
I've got-
about it.
I've got the weighted blankets all to myself. You know.
Let me tell you this. I'm gonna give you two words. Now I don't own one, but I might buy one. Bed jet.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a bed heating / air conditioning system
Oh.
that you can like customize to like two sides of the bed and stuff like that,
So
and like
it's
one side could be
it's like
warm.
the heated seats in the car.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh,
but like you like put it. It's like pretty silent. You put it up from the bottom of the sheets at the foot of the
yeah,
bed,
yeah,
and
I
it,
think I know what it's like those flat air conditioner type
Yeah.
looking things.
here's a toss to Isam as he gets the edge off the
Very
left side. His nicest run of the day.
Yeah, that's one of the few positive plays that have happened for Hamilton.
Well, Aji's out there to make the stop. I am falling apart over here. I'm tired. I'm yawning. I'm cold. It's a Friday night. It's the way when you wake up at 4 in the morning every day and like you're not used to doing that all summer. I'm still trying to get back in the
What are you
routine.
doing at 4 in the morning?
Gotta go. Like
You gotta
the
work
high
out
school
in the
starts
morning.
so early, dude. Like,
But-
just to get up and get a workout in, like
Oh yeah.
and then get to school requires waking up at 4.
What do you do after school?
Sleep.
Well,
That's what I want to do.
You could sleep in the morning. and
Nah,
then
I'm
work
just
out
not a good.
after
I'm better in the morning.
Yeah.
You know. And here's a nice little toss. Oh, is that picked?
Oh!
Is that picked? Are they going to give him that?
Oh, come on. You gotta
Oh
give him
my
it.
goodness!
Give him it.
Holloway begging and pleading, and the officials are going to say no.
That's a pick in my book.
Oh my goodness!
I wish we had the instant replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Every time you think you got a good enough computer, You don't.
We're not taxing today. People actually got to watch the game. Let's
I
not mess
know.
with that.
Yeah.
God.
It is funny though when you watch it on like YouTube and stuff like that. Like you look for the things that you look for that you see
Yeah.
it every day in a game, and then you're like, why isn't it doing that?
Oh,
like,
because
oh,
we
yeah.
don't have a production truck.
Yeah,
we got a
right.
we got a Pogue.
Well, then you're like, oh yeah, it's 2 guidance counselors and a 5th grade
Yeah,
teacher
yeah.
up there. You know what I mean? It's like, you know.
With so much media training, all this
Yeah.
media training.
That's it.
Definitely didn't Google how to do this stuff.
Oh, love it. They let me teach this stuff at the college level somehow.
Do they really?
Go figure that one out. You know,
Well, what? Just the verbal of it all, or like even like the production part of it?
everything, the whole nine. Yeah,
So
sports media and commentary
Do
this
you
semester.
have Pogue guest teach for you?
No.
Only one time. Only one time.
I know enough to be able to fake through actually teaching the kids.
What you want to do is get yourself a Pogue. All right.
That's it.
Oh man. Yeah, cheap labor. That's what you need.
That's right. There is. No, ball's out. But a great job by Montgomery to fall on it as Eubanks lost the handle on it. But it looked like Brandon Rector was there to fall on top of it at the 41-yard line.
And Brandon Rector is another one of those young kids. It's really going to be something for Montgomery as
Yeah.
as he matures and gets farther along in the program. I just love seeing him in the weight room, getting bigger. He's a great track athlete, one of our best throwers.
Schmelzer is going to flip it out here to the left to McManus, and a block in the back coming and it looks like the ball is out again. And no, they're going to say that the runner was down, but this is going to be a block in the back on Trey McFadden.
It was kind of a mess over there. Like I felt like they let him play a little bit too long. He looked like he was wrapped up.
Yeah. So they'll march that one back. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 after the penalty. 11 or so, give or take.
10-yard penalty brings the ball back to the Cougars' 33-yard line. Brings up 2nd.
So Schmelzer with work to do yet again.
Getting down there, 3:04 left in the quarter.
This game feels like it has taken forever.
It does, doesn't it? It's like
Well, we're 2 hours and 10 minutes in, and we got 12 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the only reason it feels that way is because it has.
this game feels like my week. Yeah.
Seriously. Schmelzer will throw it. Going deep again, looking for McManus. He comes back for the ball, and it's incomplete. And a late flag comes in, and that's going to be defensive pass interference.
Yeah.
And check that. That was McFadden, not McManus.
And McFadden actually did a great job to put himself in a position to get that ball.
We got a
You
bunch
know,
of
he came
Irish kids
back.
wearing 7 on their jerseys, okay? That's just
Yeah.
that's what we got. Confuse but their sole purpose in life is to confuse me, not to catch the ball. 15-yard penalty is going to result in a 1st down. So
Just keep the ball. Just keep moving it.
Cougar 48-yard line. That's enough for a Montgomery Cougar 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Cougs from the 48-yard line. Clock rolling, under 3 minutes to go. And it's Eubanks again. And Chris will be tripped down at about the 43. Another nice gain, 5 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Eubanks has been able to accomplish this game. He's finding the hole, he's making some good cuts, and he's keeping the pile moving. So, those are all positive things going into probably the little bit more meat of the schedule.
We've seen Eubanks kind of do it in every way possible on the ground this year. Obviously, first carry, first play of the season, a long touchdown run, and tonight's been a little bit more 4 yards here, 5 yards here, and on cue gets another 5 and another 1st down.
Just keep on trucking.
That's it.
And that's enough for another Montgomery Cougar.
And another Hamilton player is banged up. So as soon as, the weather turns cold enough to not cramp, everybody turns an ankle.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So let's go back to this guessing game here. All right, so what your guess is Schmelzer? Where? Do you have a number for it? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm guessing you can see Schmelzer's number, so I'm guessing I was wrong. So
I didn't say that. I was
said-
just maybe I'm misleading you.
maybe behind number 6.
All right, Poe, give us like another 3 or 4 seconds, and then show us the names. Go ahead. Let everybody at home see who's who here. Welcome to see Gavin Guidetti was the one that was obvious to me. I feel like he looks exactly the same. He just like aged, 12 years.
Nice, but I mean, I got Schmelzer right.
Always love getting photos like that.
Yeah. Do we know if that one was it Donahue? It's got to be a Donahue, right?
I didn't get the full caption. So Schmelzer is on the run, and he just throws it out of bounds. And we'll see whether they do drop a late flag. They're going to say intentional grounding because
he drops straight back.
Well, the ball never got past the line of scrimmage. He did run out to the right, but ball was well shy of the line of scrimmage. So they'll call intentional grounding on Schmelzer despite his best efforts to avoid the sack.
Like looking out the window, seeing all the blankets that are out tonight. You got a Raiders, you got an emoji. So another red one. I don't know what team that was.
I need a heater. That's what I need up here.
It's
My nose is running. That's how cold it is up here.
It's funny. I literally ran home from track practice and took a hot shower because I was cold.
Oh, dude. Is there anything better than that?
No, there's not.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's like you said, it's too early to be cold.
2nd and a mile. Schmelzer fires over the middle. McManus snatches it out of midair, and he's got most of the penalty yardage back across the 40.
I love it. That's a great catch. You know what the problem for me is? I just never get warm over the course of the day because for some reason my room is like an ice box. So
oh, you're preaching to the choir on this one, buddy.
So it's just like all day. Like I always tell my 5th graders, I'm like, bring a sweatshirt, man, because like it's gonna be cold in here all year.
I feel like you got to pull that microphone up too. You feel like you lost some decibels on your voice. Schmelzer rolling, and he's throwing on 3rd down, and another great catch, this time by McFadden. So we called Trey McFadden's name, and he's got a catch and a 1st down. And you better get used to that name because let me tell you, he ain't just a kicker. He's also a kicker.
Well, if he's anything like his brother, he's going to be running around this track sometime soon, too.
For your sake, I hope that that's the case.
I mean, yeah. Here's hoping, right?
Yeah. McManus in the slot, and they split McFadden all the way out to the top and give to Eubanks on the sweep coming back to the near side. And Chris has a minimal gain.
That's going to get us close to the quarter.
Yeah, that should take us to the end of the quarter, as long as nobody really hustles up. But Montgomery's going to do just that.
They're going to hustle up.
They are. 2nd down and 9 for the Cougs.
It was going to be close.
And it'll be Eubanks. And Chris has running room, and he's on his feet. He's going to score. He bounces it inside the 10 and inside the pylon. Touchdown, Cougars.
Yeah, buddy.
27 yards for the Cougars score for Eubanks. And just as Hamilton wished that they had not snapped the ball at the end of the quarter earlier, Montgomery certainly fortunate to have snapped it there as Chris Eubanks cashes in. And Montgomery rolls it up to a 40-2 lead.
And it was just a matter of time. I mean, he's been making those good cuts and churning his legs. And, one of these times he was going to break it. And that was that time.
Extra point is up and good from McFadden. Want you to know that Yannick Smith is taking all the credit for this Davino to Schmelzer to Davino connection. I've just been informed.
Oh yeah.
By him, in fact, that he's taking credit for this.
Well, then you got it from a reliable source.
Oh, the most reliable.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's certainly true that he's taking credit for it. I'll tell you that. Like, that part is definitely, whether the credit actually comes from there, because he claims that he has them both in unified PE, which is really a great thing that Yannick does.
Oh, 100%.
And certainly that those guys participate in. Now, to the extent that it has anything whatsoever to do with what's happening here, I'm going to go and say no.
I mean, any athlete that I ever get that I've also taught in 5th grade, I take credit for. It was like I made this happen in 5th grade.
You're one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if Yannick gets credit for this combo, I can at least.
I can assure you, Yannick is getting no credit. I'm not giving him no credit. I'm just noting the fact that he wants the credit.
Oh, look at that.
That you will never see that again. That was bananas, as the ball just hit at the 10 and died, and it's going to turn into a really nice return for Esam as he lowers the shoulder and takes Ethan McManus for another 2 or 3 yards. So Dylan Esam with a really nice return.
But that ball just stopped on a dime.
That was crazy.
It's like.
That takes us to the end of the quarter. We're in running clock time now as well, so things will move a little more expeditiously, I think.
Closer to 12 minutes.
As we get through it. Final 12 minutes coming up here from Montgomery. At this point, it feels academic for 5-0. Cougs lead Hamilton by a bunch. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mire. Start of quarter number 4. Just got the lowdown from Mr. Dawson here about the running clock. I knew that it had changed. The threshold had changed. It used to be 35 points that by which you would start to run the clock, and now they lowered it this year to 33, just in case somebody gets a safety. You know.
There you go.
Which, in this case, today, kind of relevant, but normally not so much. Chatham will turn around and hand it to Dylan Esam, and he's got a nice gain to about the, we'll call it the 44, right near a first down, and they're going to give him the first down.
Let's say, I think he's got it. Clock.
I'm going to tell you right now, if they score and kick an extra point and we don't get to stay in running clock because we had that bad snap on the extra point earlier, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
It's that, like, and you know what the problem is for everybody listening at home? It's actually not even that cold out. It's just this is like the first kind of cold night, and I'm free. It's like 50 degrees.
I brought my Carhartt. I mean, it's pretty good.
Another give off the left side for Esam, and this time he is stacked up. Nice job out there by Ben Hoberman.
Yeah. Just watching one of the Hamilton players like doing like a snow angel on the turf. It's like one of those moments where you just get confused. You're like,
wait, what am I looking at? What's happening right now?
What am I watching?
We got balls just dying on the field, right? We got snow angels not happening. I don't know what's going on. Cats and dogs living together. Mass chaos. Oh. If anybody got that movie reference, I know my college roommate Steve Tuckerson would have got that movie reference. None of you did.
I missed it.
That's okay. You got to be extra cool to get that movie reference. There's a give off the right side and a first down for Hamilton.
Is it extra old?
Well, that too. That too.
Just clearing it up.
that, my friends, was a Ghostbusters 2 reference.
Oh.
They've made a couple other ones. Well, we watched the new Ghostbusters over the summer. It was pretty good. I
Was
shed a
it?
tear. Shed a tear at the end.
I have not seen it.
It was good. I was a fan.
I mean, speaking of getting old, I have I have a student in my class this year who I know the family pretty well, and I was explaining it to my colleagues. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm friends with it. I'm pretty good friends with his grandfather," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I am so old.
Yes.
I'm so
Yes.
old."
Dylan Esom again off the right side,
Get
and
some flags down.
another flag looks like we're gonna have a hold. So
That's what it looks like. A hold.
Flag.
Look
flag
like it.
is, I guess, stop the clock. Is that that's a thing?
Unbelievable. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Perhaps it does. It appears so. Let's keep it clean, guys.
Ball B. Yeah, right.
Look up.
No more incentive to keep it clean than
Yeah.
that right there. Ball spotted back at the 43.
We kid though, but this is a good opportunity for a lot of players.
No doubt
that
about
don't
it.
necessarily get the time. So I'm sure they enjoy a little bit of stoppage now and again.
Now, since the score is what it is at this point in the game, we can get off on some tangents, and that's completely appropriate. But so you talked about getting older, and
See, his memory's
that
gone.
time. Well, no,
Crazy,
I was
crazy.
saying- I was looking to see who called that timeout because I was going to be upset with them. But no, you said getting old, and the brain works in a bunch of funky ways, and you make connections. 16 million connections at one time, and you said, "Oh, I'm old," and I thought, "Oh, you know who else is old? Oh, you know who's not here anymore? Oh, you know who's old? Gerv's old. Gerv's retired. I just want to say
Yeah.
hello to Mike Gervin if he's watching down at the beach in retirement land." I texted him the other morning. I said, "Hey, I got a question about senior trip because I'm the senior trip coordinator now."
Yeah, buddy.
Luckily.
Stepping into the big shoes.
Big shoes, no doubt. And I texted him probably like at 8:30 or 8:45, and I said, "Listen, when you wake up, give me a call." And that hurt my heart a little bit to actually say at 8:30 when you wake up, number one. And then he texted me back probably like 20 minutes later. He's like, "Nah, I'm on the beach with my dog going for a walk." And I was like, "Ah, I hate you even more."
Yeah.
God.
Was he catching the early bird special or
I
or
can't.
or no,
having
that's
dinner.
the afternoon. That's the dinner. Yeah.
Pass for Hamilton and a big hit delivered out there.
Well, I mean, when you talk about Gerv, the first thing that goes into my mind is his buddy Normie, right, Gebhardt.
Oh yeah.
And I work with him down at the lower middle school, and he's been talking more and more about when his time to join Gerv down at the beach is going to be, and for me it's going to be a sad day because I love working with him, and he's like one of the guys. We've both been coaching forever.
Yep.
I coached football with him years and years ago.
Mike Irvin, Montgomery legend for sure, retired this past June. Longtime football, baseball coach.
Well, yeah, and he was here like over 35 years, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No doubt.
that's impressive. Working in one district for that long.
It's one of those things where sometimes you just get lucky. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my story for sure. I lucked into getting the job at Montgomery the way I did. I'd never worked anywhere else.
No, I mean, I'm right out of college. That's where this is where I came, and this is where I've been for the last 19 years.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe our age that's more commonplace nowadays. It's not necessarily the trend.
No, that's for sure. And
Good
there's
little hit.
another big hit delivered out there. Ethan Calarackle to make the stop. He had the big hit on the sideline as well. It's 4th down for Hamilton, but I suspect that they will go for it.
Might as well. Get the big pass play here.
Chatham certainly has the arm for it. Ball spotted at about the 31, and they need the 20 for a first down. So it's a long 11, though. It's much closer to 12. And Chatham will throw it. Looking out to the right, and that is complete and right at the sticks. It's going to depend on the spot, but they did not give it to him. He's short of the first down, so that's an impressive play both directions. The pitch and the catch was great, and the stop was great. So, and you know what? And this is what I love too. You see Zach Schick running over to the sideline there, getting excited for his guys, and that's really how why you say you build team chemistry. You know, when the starters, the guys that are coming up with the big plays, are out there as excited for the guys playing in the game right now as the guys just making the hit are.
Yeah. I mean, they over the summer and over these early months of school, they've developed, a family in any sport.
Yep.
It just happens, and you always want to see everyone on the team be successful. It's funny, as we talk about retirement,
Jeremiah Norwood in the game at quarterback now for Montgomery as Schmelzer has a seat. And the give is to Vedant Mittal on first down.
But you start to know that you're getting older when you're like starting doing some math. You're like, well, what do I need to retire? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
don't think I haven't checked.
Yeah.
If I retire now and get another job, how do we feel about that?
If I could get health insurance,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
And not that I dislike teaching by any means. It's just I just like doing nothing more.
I did tell you that I have to wake up at 4 in the morning every day, right?
Yeah.
Think I love that? Come on. Mittal gets the handoff again.
Nice little cut.
He's out of one tackle, and he's right near a first down, and looks like he's got it. Getting our first looks at Jeremiah Norwood at quarterback this year on the varsity level.
It's like the best part about buying that lottery ticket is like the few minutes you take to think about, like, if I hit this is what I'm doing.
I think about it all the time.
Oh yeah, and I don't buy lottery. You know when I buy lottery tickets, when they do it at work. Because,
really?
Because I'm not going to be the guy who has to go to work on Monday when everybody quit on Friday.
If it hits 250 million, that's when I start buying tickets.
Yeah. Because what a snob, man.
I couldn't do it. Anything less than that.
250, I can't.
Couldn't do it. Sorry. Vedant Mittal again. A late hit there. Yeah, and you're going to get a personal foul coming at the end of that. So that'll be an extra 15 tacked onto the end.
I always hear about those people that win it, though, and they're like, oh, it caused me more problems. I was like, throw those problems at me. Throw them to me.
I'll tell you right now, I will guarantee you, money cannot buy happiness. But what I can also tell you is that a lack of money causes a lot of problems.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It can't, but it can buy. What's the country song?
Can't buy you happiness,
but it can buy me a boat.
It can buy me a boat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. We went out on my cousin's boat one time this summer. I was pretty happy. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't see many people with frowny faces, on their yacht.
Nope. Mittal with a big hole off the left side. But now Mittal has really done a nice job running the ball.
I know he's getting.
There's a little Boston Scott involved, in this here.
Getting his looks in today, man.
Some
I
Darren
love it.
Sproles, if you will, and I will. Pat Taylor's in the game at running back now as he gives Vedant a little break.
I mean, I like it. They're getting their plays and they're making the most of them. Getting a first down, keeping the offense running.
crazy as it is, and I think maybe I'm probably unduly influenced by the early portion of the game. This is the quietest 41 points I can like remember us scoring.
Oh yeah, it's really unassuming. It's just they kind of piled up, and there wasn't really like some big like huge plays where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
they just kind of happened.
And it's one of those things where, like, typically in high school football, when this kind of thing happens, is we're going to have a false start on Montgomery. A team will bang, 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 score 3 or 4 times in a row in the first, second quarter, and then kind of take their foot off the pedal from there. But like you said, this was kind of like a slow burn, really, to get us to where we are in terms of the score right now. So, that's maybe why it feels a little bit different. But so Montgomery can turn its gaze toward next Friday when the Cougars host Watchung Hills, and there's some bad feelings there. It kind of seems to be the way that it is. Pat Taylor runs for a couple, and then we're going to get another personal foul on Hamilton there.
You can't do the razor's
No,
edge?
no, you may not.
Oh.
Can't do that at this level or any level, in
Yeah.
fact. That's a personal foul. Can't do that in the NFL.
Yeah. That's
I always say that, though. I feel bad for the guys in the NFL. Like, it's one of those things where, like, yo, that dude is, like, 210 pounds. And, like, he's trying to still run. And the only recourse I had was to, like, fling him down.
Yeah.
Like, if I let go, he's going to run for a touchdown.
First of all, if I could body slam 250 pounds worth of muscle, like, I should be allowed to do it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And, like, not when it's the WWE, when the guy, like, knows I'm doing it and he gives, like, a little push off the ground. So Norwood will take a knee.
Yeah, so next week's actually, I feel like, really important because, as we mentioned earlier, with the PowerPoints and all of that, the teams that Montgomery has played just haven't gotten any wins, so they're not getting any of those extra points. So hopefully some of these teams start picking it up, getting some wins, and we can get a big win against Wakchung.
Norwood waiting as long as he possibly can before calling for the snap, and he does take a knee. Should only have to kneel on it one more time, and the rest is academic.
Take Montgomery to 5-0.
A perfect 5-0 on the 2022 season with that big matchup against Watchung coming up next Friday. We'll be live for you here on the MIRE each of the next 2 Fridays. Watchung next Friday, and then North Hunterdon comes to Skillman the following Friday.
Those are 2 must-sees.
Absolutely. Appointment viewing on your tablet, your phone, cast it to the TV, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Put it on the calendar, set the alarm.
Do the whole thing. Final seconds ticking away here in Skillman. Montgomery 41 and Hamilton 2. You heard that right. And it was 41 unanswered.
Montgomery did all the scoring.
Montgomery did quite literally did all the scoring, snapping it through the end zone and then putting up 41 of its own. So, boys, the usual suspects, Schmelzer, Davino, Eubanks, all kind of getting things done. And
Guidetti, man.
Guidetti as well.
The guy of the day, I think.
He played fantastically on defense. Previous has been a production of the MIRE. It's the sole property of the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of this one without the express consent of the MIRE, strictly prohibited. A long weekend coming up, and don't we all need it? And we've only been in school for 3 weeks. Yeah. So go figure that one. But in any event, Montgomery remains undefeated. Guys, thanks for braving the cold with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Pogue, you keep being silent over there.
You got it.
Strong silent type.
Cougs by 39. For Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, and Nicole DeMace, I'm Keith Glock. Thank you for watching.